Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 262 and episode 2 of our Game of the Year podcast spectacular. If you are listening to this and you have not listened to yesterday's podcast, press pause, go back if you want to know what the top 10 are, because I'm about to spoil them in a second. But we're back. The whole crew is here. We got a full crew to talk about the games that we want to give, I guess. It's not even the games we want to give category awards to. It's the category awards that we want to fill with games. Jeremy Jane, how you doing today? After 5 hours of podcasting yesterday, how do you feel about doing a few more today?
I'm doing great. I slept a lot. I don't know if it's because of the 5 hours of continuous talking or the amount of video games I've been playing recently, but I'm fueled up and ready.
Yeah, weirdly, I also slept a lot last night and was like quite sleepy this morning. Frank Haley, how many hours of sleep do you usually get every night?
If we are not recording a podcast, I always get 8 hours. If we're recording a podcast, I'll get like 4 hours and then wake up, record the podcast, and then I go back to bed for the rest of the day.
Is this because we usually record at like 10? Because like you also did, you were like, can we do 11 tomorrow, guys? And it was like, oh, Frank wants to sleep in a bit.
So 5 hours today. All right.
Yeah. I'm always on Japan time because all my favorite streamers don't start till 3 a.m. and I have to be in every chat, being the number one Oji-san and posting emotes, all this stuff. But I will say starting an hour later today was super helpful. So thank you guys. I'm a much better mood today, so I appreciate it.
Excellent. Thanks, man. I just love the idea that you're just on Japan time, just because that's your soul. Your soul is on Japan time.
Because like all the wrestling shows start in the middle of the night. You don't want to wake up to spoilers. So it's like anytime, like every weekend there's new shows. So it's just like, that's I don't know. I'm sure it's the same for you tracking international sports and everything. So it's,
that's
I don't
true.
know. It's like, yeah, I don't know. You don't want to be asleep when all the exciting stuff is happening. I could get, I don't care about anything that's happening in America, but like all the cool Japan stuff is like, hell yeah, I'm fun. Yeah.
Frank, don't turn the news on if you wake up accidentally at 5 o'clock. Don't turn the news on. Just
Well, can I say I'm the happiest I've ever been because at my gym, I used to go in the main room with all the ellipticals. There was like Fox News, and every person inside was wearing like a Charlie Kirk shirt and all these Trump
really?
shirts.
Oh man,
always. And I'm wearing my anime shirts and watching women's wrestling on my iPhone. I found out there's a separate room in the gym, and there's no TVs. There's no people, but there's like 8 elliptical machines. And so I go there every day, and it's this quiet room, and there's windows that you can see trees outside, and no one goes in there because people like going into the Fox newsrooms and staring at the TVs and wearing their Pro Ice shirts. It's like,
God.
It's Orange County, California. So now I go into my little like this Matrix pod, like this insane like empty room. It feels like Neo in the Matrix when he's picking his guns, but like it's a completely empty. And now I just ride my elliptical. I come home, I watch wrestling, I play video games, and I'm like, oh, this is great. Everything's I don't know. So I'm happy.
I'm glad you are. That's the bubble that the bubble we all aspire to living in eventually, I guess. I like the idea. Do you think that the right wing shitheels in the other gym room are getting like more exercise done because it's pumping up their rage?
No, because they literally
or less?
They sit on like a bicycle and they have like I don't know. It's God, I don't know, man. It's a weird culture. But I'm just so happy like to not be in a room without TVs blasting. So now it's like, I don't know, because I was learning about the liberal crime wave and I always look at I'm contributing to the liberal crime wave. So now, so I do miss seeing the fun. I do miss seeing the insane, like, I don't know what we call it, the
Chiron or whatever, the breaking news thing.
Yeah. I do. So I do kind of miss seeing those, but it's like at the same time, like, oh, it's kind of cool just unplugging from it all.
I do swap over sometimes on my TV. I have a TV over here to the left. I've actually, speaking of live sports, there will be a Carabao Cup game on today that maybe I'll glance over at every once in a while. My team Arsenal are playing Chelsea in the first leg. But I do swap over to Fox sometimes when like something real heinous happened, just to see the fucking deranged alternative universe that these people are living in. And it's like,
it's funny when you check if something bad happens to Trump and you check, they're like, today a dog was found outside in a pool. You're like, okay, you saw what happened, right? All right.
Yeah. And then I'll turn on like CNN or something and they'll be, having, just a really maybe even more annoying perspective on what's happening and being like just almost getting there, but not quite. Anyway, such is the world we live in, where we search out the news that makes us feel good, I guess. Or in Frank's case, you run away from it and find the Neo anime room. I like it. Jesse Gracia, is there many people wearing pro Charlie Kirk shirts in Canada at the moment?
You would be shocked how many people are wearing pro Charlie Kirk shirts in Canada right now. It is a disgusting number of them for a country of people who have nothing to do with that.
Oh,
just
really?
a reminder
For
to
real?
Canadians, you're not American. Yeah, I'm not even joking. It's
Wow.
There is a large contingent of Trump supporters in Canada, despite the fact maybe because he desperately wants Canada to be an American state.
Hey man, you got a lot of oil up there, you know.
Yeah,
Like
oil.
your
You got a lot of
biggest
maple
importer,
syrup,
isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
You
You're
got
right.
the
We got
right
the
oil too. I learned a lot about oil over the past after the Venezuela thing, and you could see people were also, learning about the different types of oil, all that sort of stuff. All I knew about oil before that was from watching No Country for Old Men. So that was
There will be blood. Oh,
Yeah.
Not there
Wait,
will be
you
blood.
messed. You were right the first time.
you were right the first time.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
Country
Oh,
for Old
was
Men.
that? Oh,
I don't know if there's any
right.
oil
No,
in that movie.
yeah. Jesus Christ, they came out in the cinema like at the same time, and I've
When Javier
forever.
Bardem killed a bunch of people for oil.
When Javier Bardem negotiated for all that oil.
I remember. Yeah,
What's the most you've ever lost in an oil well?
I want to take over the Exxon Valdez.
Remember the end when Shigur said to that guy about his milkshake? Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's the part everyone loves.
Anyway, there's your political minute, sponsored by Tide. Finished. No, we're not sponsored by Tide. We're sponsored by our incredible patrons over at patreon.com/noclip and the incredible folks over at patreon.com/noclip2 who are helping us do some goddamn video game coverage of a lot of games that don't usually get them, and they're amazing, and we're going to be giving a bunch of them awards today. Special shout out there to our Battle Pass holders, not our Paddle Bass holders, although that sounds great.
Paddled ass holders.
Hey,
Oh, paddled ass holders. That's even better. I like the idea of giving maybe if somebody reaches like 5 years of Battle Pass, we get a paddle.
Like a fraternity.
With a picture of a bass on it. And we have to
perfect.
And they have to be smacked by it and they have to sleep overnight in the snow.
If they want to. If they can elect to not be
that's
paddled
true.
as well.
They just won't make it into the club. That's
true.
If they want to be a part of it.
You want to be in the club, don't you?
Exactly. Those folks are Little Toast, Lovepreet, Yacht, Dwayne the Rock Lobster, Anthony Thomas, Nico Passeteri, It's a Me Ferrario, Senator Armstrong, Redredge, Harry Flanagan, Juice, Arno, Matt Pearson, Mark Ross, Quote, Tucker Morgan, David McGarry, Goddison, Sven Hooster, Pez, Bone Mold, John Akers, Ewint Nate, Tim Robinson, Forrest Pruitt, Dark Insanities, Jonathan Kremen, Eric Hamilton Schneider, Christoph Fatui, Enox, Grizzly Mug, Cameron Laird, Zachary Snader, Alex Goucher, George Tsakotis, Jacob, Godserve, Anthea Jen, thank you, Jesse, James Med, and Ryson, thank you all so much for your incredible support. 2026, let's grab its dicks. Okay, on to the category. That's our, see, the McElroys, it takes them an entire podcast to name the year. I just say it first time. There you go. That's our year slogan. The category awards. Special shout out to Jeremy Jane, who last night posted a bunch of categories in our staff chat that were much better and funner than the ones that I had come up with yesterday, having lost the original category list that I had written about 6 weeks ago. I think Jesse's the only person who has seen that. Had you seen that?
Maybe. I don't know what happened to it.
I probably posted in the staff chat. I bet if I scroll up high enough, whatever, it's gone anyway. We have some categories today. I'm going to list through some of these, and then tomorrow we're going to do our last categories, and that'll be the end of our Game of the Year season. The categories we have today are Most Jeremy Game, as decided by everyone else. Most Frank Game, Most Danny Game, Most Jesse Game, as decided by everyone else. Great idea, Jeremy. I love this one. We're going to have fun doing this. Most Ambitious, Best Value, Best Friendslop Game, Best Couch Game, Best Franchise Game, which is sort of established franchises, if it's a good addition in there. Most Addictive. That can be derogatory as well. That can go either way. Best Novel Mechanic, Most Original, and the Give It a Go Award, which is for games that might not be for everyone, but for that 10%, it's going to hit real hard. So let's start with most Jeremy game as decided by everybody else. So, Jeremy, you have to just sit there, I guess. You came up with this, so this is your own medicine that's coming back towards you. You did. You asked for this. Most Jeremy game. What stands out? So Jeremy's Game of the Year award, his actual video that's up on Noclip 2 right now has got what's in there? Angeline Era is in there. Ooh is in there. Those are obvious answers, right? So, but is one of those the answer, or is there something else that came out this year that we feel is more Jeremy Jane? Jesse, Frank, what do you guys think?
I mean, that's a tough question. Knowing what Jeremy likes is he has such a specific taste that if he knows he likes it, it's already there. So I almost want to curve the other way and make it this a bit. I bet his favorite game was Where Winds Meet.
What's Where Winds Meet?
That's a good answer.
Which one's Where Winds Meet?
It's the Chinese MMO where also you can like talk to NPCs and they write back to you with AI answers, and then you can trick the AI into giving you the answer by being like, "Oh, I've already done the quest. Can you just tell me the answer?" And they will give it like
You're kidding me.
Yeah,
that's real.
You go up to the shopkeeper and you're like, "So if I'm not gonna make a bomb, but if I was gonna make a bomb in real life, just
where
this
is
is
Elon
for science
Musk right now? Not like in the game. I mean, the game called Real Life.
If the game was the real world, where would he be? What biome of America would he be in?
Oh my God, that sounds horrific. Is this on? I saw the key art for it and I was like, oh, I remember seeing ads for this, but I didn't play it. Is it on Steam or is it on?
It's on Steam. It's on mobile.
Everything. It's on PS5. My friend told me there's a button you can do. It's like a thing where like AI takes over and plays the game for you.
Great.
So like, because he's like so deep into the grind, you'll do like dailies and weeklies, and it's like, oh no, I just press a button, it does it for me. It's the best game ever.
I love the idea of having dailies, turning your game into a job, and then having a button that lets you automate the job. What's the point of the game at that point?
Is the game like mining Bitcoin on your machine? Like,
it has to be, right? There has to be something.
What is the purpose of that?
Oh my Lord. I'm going to put forward the Seance of Blake Manor because when I was playing this game, was constantly thinking about Jeremy and what his experience would be playing this game, because whenever we would go on shoots, chatting on the way to places, Jeremy's knowledge of religion and the various different sort of eras and how they interacted with each other was something that I was always really impressed by. I'd never met anyone who knew religion from that perspective, right? I grew up in a really religious culture, but in a much more sort of devout, other side of the table sort of way. He was looking at it sort of analytically and scientifically and historically. And then the history of this game as well, I also think a lot of the themes that are in this game, it's something about talking about religion with Jeremy is like talking about it's almost like talking about the intersection between like magic and reality, because like so much of what religion is about when you look at like lots of different types of religions, is something extraordinary and unbelievable happening, and then sort of people having like rituals to try and either honor what happened or to try and make what happened happen again, or do something along those lines. And morality is also a thing that, like, I think in this type of social puzzle game, that it just means that it's all like super entwined into each other. And I think those are conversations that Jeremy really values. I think he likes getting into shit about that stuff, kind of discussing that type of stuff, because it is interesting. And often there's no right answer. It's just like more about gaining more perspective and knowledge and understanding of why people believe what they do, rather than sort of saying what they believe is incorrect for X reason.
Yeah,
this rules. I feel like I'm at my own funeral right now, and people are saying nice things about. This is awesome.
Your seance, as it were.
Yeah.
Frank, do you have anything that you think would work for Jeremy?
I don't know, like Jeremy's like hyper intelligent. I was like, not that we're just gushing, but I'm like trying to think what would fit that Jeremy hasn't already like played or talked about, because it's almost like a good idea of like giving a recommendation for something that maybe they haven't tried. I'm trying to think if there's like a game I like that maybe really maybe Jeremy would like, but I'm trying to think like Because also, like, Jeremy's a game designer, so he likes building things. And, like, so I was like, oh, is it a... So, like, not that this is it, but it's like in games like Skate, you can construct stuff. So it's like, oh, what are... I'm trying to think if there's another game where
you might
can,
like Skate, period. Yeah.
Yeah. Skate Period. Yeah, I was like, is there another game where you can, like, make challenges, a game that you can design things within? There's, like, Fortnite creative mode and stuff like that, but I'm trying to think if there's anything else, like...
I love that.
I don't know. It's weird. Like, yeah, I'm like scrolling through our like master list of when we dumped all these games in a while ago, and I'm trying to think if there's anything that scratched it. I don't know. Maybe Jeremy's really good at DDR, but that's not a 2025 game. Yeah, I was like, I'm still scrolling, but I don't have any. It's like Lego Party.
What is our thoughts? Lego Party.
Good hit. I was going to say, there's a free one. I think I recommended this a couple months ago. I haven't been able to finish it, but just from like the 20 minutes that I played, this felt very Jeremy to me. It's called ENA Dream Barbecue.
I've played a little bit of it.
This is I'm surprised this didn't come up, but I guess it's for the reason that I didn't bring it up, which is I didn't finish it. It has the mixed media art style. You see a little bit of gameplay of this, and it's clearly... It looks like something Jeremy would make if someone would give him like $100,000 and leave him alone for 6 months. There's so many different art styles. Everything's voiced. Like, it's so all over the place, and yet seems to have some cohesion in both its writing and its willingness to be weird in order to deliver the kind of story it's trying to tell. And it's free too, so that's pretty economically viable there. See, that feels very Jeremy Jane to me.
Hey, are you saying I'm broke? What the fuck?
I'm saying you enjoy economic viability, brother.
What's the name of it again?
It's ENA Dream BBQ.
Okay, I'm gonna just write it down for a second.
It is on Steam.
I actually started it on the last flight I was on, but I wanted to play with mouse and keyboard. I started it on my Steam Deck.
I'm gonna add, Frank, good idea. I'm gonna just add, because these opening four are sort of like a warm up for the categories to a certain extent. So let's play with it a little bit more. I'm gonna add in sort of the subtitle of something we all think they should play that maybe they haven't. So I'm not sure if that one works just because he has played it a bit. So but that's a good idea. I guess the most Jeremy game that came out this year for me is probably Ooh. Like, I think especially where he is in his life at the moment, where he's working on his game so much, and this feels like a game designer's game. You know what I mean? Because it's like just the as we talked about yesterday, the design is so like it's no fat on it. It keeps moving. It almost feels like a tutorial for a bigger game or something. You know, it's like this is how you do all this stuff. And I think as a designer, he probably really appreciates that when he's working on his own stuff.
For sure. Yeah, I agree 100%. I think it's a very Jeremy game.
What do you think, Frank? You want to co-sign this?
Yeah, and I think we mentioned it before, but like with Ooh, the internal like game inspiration list within the credits is such a like smart spark, and like I don't know, it's very cool. I also love hearing Jeremy gush about Ooh yesterday about like just how I forget, like Jeremy had a great quote that was like the developer iterated every single idea and there was like nothing more to add and nothing to take away, and it was like, oh, that's such a perfect like little quote. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. Nice one. Thank you. Okay, let's do the what they should play, and then maybe it's what they should play more of. Because I have a feeling that the nature of our work means that a lot of us have touched on a lot of games a little bit, maybe. So what do we think for this? Do you still think barbecue?
Yeah, I mean, / more of, if we're putting that in the same category, I'd say that's probably the one. Just from everything I've heard about it and how I felt on it for that first
What's it called again?
30 minutes. ENA Dream BBQ.
And what is it about it you think would resonate with Jeremy?
I mean, just go look at like 2 seconds of gameplay on YouTube. The art style, the way that there's a million different art styles all mashed together, the writing, the voice acting, it's all very like, again.
Okay.
There you go, right?
Yeah. This is
big budget Jeremy game. It reminded me of
Jeremy.
Anthology of the Killer. Like not in depth of writing or anything. I don't know if it's on that same wavelength necessarily. I haven't seen the first episode through to the end, but just how it's set up was very similar in a lot of ways, at least to me.
Nice. All right. There's our first 2. Ooh, and I have some other ones that he should play more of, but he's going to do it anyway. Like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is probably the one I would say.
Yeah,
but
Resident Evil Village.
Oh my God. Well, funny it came out this year. All right, we move on to Frank Howley. Frank Howley's game as decided by everyone else. So
we can't pick Dance Dance Revolution. Was there a 2025 version? There has to have been.
I think we can.
I think we have to. There's no reason to pick anything else.
So there's that, or there's the other one that he talked about, which was the
Beatmania.
what is it? No, the update. Yeah, the updated version of Beatmania, right?
Yeah.
That they brought. There's a patch that came out this year, which I guess technically we can say.
What is it?
Yeah.
IDXX3.
Yes. Beatmania
Cosmic
IDX
Sprinkle?
33, Sparkle Shower. The last one was Kinky Crush.
Sparkle
Shower.
Shower sounds like some water play or whatever. What do you call
Oh
it?
yeah, I'm gonna get my new room massage in my sparkle shower. Yeah, that's. I think should we? I think DDR. Probably DDR.
Yeah.
Do we say DDR writ large or Dance Dance Revolution World 2024? Is that?
I think just as the concept, Frank will play any DDR machine anywhere. It doesn't matter what game's on it. It could be a Taiwanese ripoff DDR that like no one's ever played before with a bunch of like ripoff Maroon 5 songs, and he'd play it.
I will say that. So I interviewed a friend, and she talked about getting that as like a present as a kid. So I had to track down like a bootleg DDR Nintendo ROM rip. So I got
awesome.
there. So I have footage of that in this thing I'm working. I didn't know. Yeah. So like literally what Jesse describes, like that exists. Of like there is bootleg, cheap. What do you call it? Like DDR knockoff. So it's.
I'm in his brain. I know.
What's the name of the place he goes again? What's the name of
Round one?
Round one.
Yeah, round one. Yeah.
Maybe round
I was gonna
one
say
is his
Ground
game of
Round,
the year.
which is that restaurant where people throw peanuts on the ground.
round one could be his game of the year.
That's
just because that's where he goes.
He's got the membership. It's
Yeah,
that and
exactly.
Xbox
That's
Game
like
Pass.
his platform of the year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, move over, Xbox.
Console of the year is the arcade.
Yeah. Xbox Game Pass should come with a stipend that you get to spend at round one every month. I think.
That's true. Exactly. And if this was China, you'd be getting social points for going to round one. So you'd be king of all of us at the moment. Okay, that's slam dunk DDR. So game Frank we think should play more of.
Let me check the list really quick.
Sorry, I just sneezed. I had to.
It's all right.
God bless
unmic
you.
myself. Frank's played a lot of like games that I wouldn't have thought
Yeah.
he would play this year. Like Rematch was really surprising to me that he got really into that. Like that's because he's not a sports guy, you know?
I think I watched Frank stream a little bit of Birdcage. I feel like Birdcage might be a good shot for this because I saw I saw some raw skill in the first the first 30 minutes of you playing the game was a very stark contrast to my own beginning 30 minutes of playing this game, which was much more embarrassing. I think you have what it takes. I would if you completed this game on normal, I would be proud of you, and I think you would be proud of yourself.
I would suggest also maybe Sword of the Sea. Have you played that at all, Frank?
No, that's the cool like surfing. Yeah.
Journey surfing game. I think it's on PS Plus.
It is PlayStation Plus. Yeah.
Do you have that?
Yes.
So he loves that. He loves that what was it? Economically
The economically viable gaming.
Gaming there. Maybe we should have a best Game Pass game, best PSN game in here.
Brought to you by the Microsoft Corporation.
Brought to you by IDF.
It's not sponsored. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Benjamin Netanyahu's Game of the Year. That's welcome to the Noclip Crewcast.
It's this war of mine, but he plays it the other way around.
Oh my god.
This land of mine, he calls it.
Oh man.
Jesus Christ. I think another good suggestion might be Consume Me. I think Consume Me is sort of
yes.
it is in a weird way, it's sort of a cousin of was it Needy Streamer Overload? That game? Yeah. I couldn't remember if that was the exact title. It's a very different game tonally and in terms of its mechanics, but in terms of its like presentation and the fact that it's sort of these micro screens with like a lot of bombastic art and over the top sort of like interactivity and stuff. I think you would really like it. And I think it goes to some really sincere places that I think are a lot of like things about mental health and self-care and stuff that I've heard you talk about very insightfully. I think you would really appreciate it.
Yeah, I co-authored that, or I co-signed that one. Yeah, exactly. I think the Japanese element of it is probably super interesting as well. And yeah, the type of like, self-care betterment angle is something I definitely associate with you. So yeah.
I'll get on with that. I just want to recommend Rhythm Doctor as well, Frank. You've been so into rhythm games. This went to, what was it, 1.0 at the end of the year. It's one button. It's a rhythm game. You have to play on your computer, unfortunately. I don't know if there's achievements, but I do think this shit goes hard. It's crazy. It's surprisingly challenging for a one-button rhythm game. It's very, very good.
Rhythm Doctor. So this was in early access for a while, was it?
For a very long time, yeah.
Okay. That's not a bad shout.
Yeah, Consume Me definitely feels like a Frank game, for sure.
Okay. All right. Rhythm Doctor mentioned honorably, and DDR winning the most frank game. What they should play more is Consume Me. So go check that out. I'm up next, I guess. So most Danny game is decided by everyone else. What do we think?
My heart says Seance of Blake Manor.
Yeah, I feel like it's too obvious, but that's exactly what I was going to say too.
Yeah, but my nuts say Arc Raiders.
It's very well put.
Yeah, thank you.
That was
My nuts
beautiful.
also say those, and my heart also says those things.
Yeah, I got to skim the list every time and make sure I'm not missing anything obvious. Yeah, I feel like those are the two, which, I mean, it's a tough thing to not just say the thing that the person says, because the thing that they pick is the thing that's the most them. But it's like, in this case, it's just a natural fit, I feel like.
Yeah. It's the incredibly Irish video game versus the one that brings out his Irishness perhaps the most.
Does that mean I'm kind and I don't shoot people unless they fucking cross me?
Yeah,
That's
and then
exactly
they're
right.
dead.
Okay.
And then they got no kneecaps anymore.
As they should.
Jesus Christ. Fucking
Danny,
hell.
why'd you put the
Well
trigger
said.
nade in the car outside of that pub in Arc Raiders? Why did you do
Hey, look, they did just debuff the trigger nade because people were using it too much in
Exactly.
PvP. So there you go. Yeah, fair enough. When I was writing this up, I was like, it's going to be very difficult for them to look past the Seance of Blake Manor, and they probably shouldn't. So yeah, that's fair enough. And then I guess what game I should play more of this year?
Mega Bonk?
Mega bonk.
Mega Bonk. Is that's a Friendslop game, isn't it?
That was like
No.
single player, but it was that was like the 3D Vampire Survivors, like, almost like a World of Warcraft art style that I played until my eyes were sore.
It was the one that
bought
almost
this.
killed Frank.
I bought this and never played it. I think I got it thinking it was going to be Game of the Year chat, but then never was. Okay.
There you go. Problem
Mega
solved.
Bonk. Mega Bonk. Any
No, I'm
other
trying to think of an actual
suggestions?
answer.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's not
that
the
was-
answer? Okay.
That was me doing a bit.
I was curious if you did get a chance to play a rematch or spend how much, if you got to play it at all, since I know you do like football, and
Yeah,
how
I-
to compare to like other football games.
I played a bunch of it they had a stress test or something, you remember, like at one stage, and I played a good bit of it, like maybe 3 or 4 hours of it then. And then post-launch, I played a bit more, maybe a couple of hours of it spread out. I'd play like 2 or 3 games and then bounce out again. So I played a decent chunk of it, yeah. I think I really like it. I think it's like really well put together. I think sometimes when I play football games, like if I was playing EAFC or something, which I don't really play anymore, or like even Rocket League, I really liked how simple the amount of things that I have to worry about are, and then I would just do them well. And I found, like, when I was playing because I grew up playing five-a-side football, which is very much what that kind of feel is. Last man back on goal. Who's going to press? Who's going to go down the wings? There's going to be a cross, but there's only going to be one person for it. And I take it like super seriously. Like I'm really competitive at it because I've played it my whole life. So I found rematch to be like stressful because I felt like I wasn't as good as I would like to be, or I couldn't quite do what I wanted to do. I think it's great. I think it's really, really good. But for whatever reason, it was, when you play games online and you play some games and you want them to be kind of chill a little bit, and this one was just like it was riling up my Irishness or something, and so in a way that I was like, so I did play a bunch of it, but like I think when it got into like the better games and better players, I was kind of like, oh no, I don't think I can play at this level. And same thing happened with the finals. I played a bunch of it. I really liked the core mechanics of it, but the complexity of that game and how competitive people are at it, I think it ultimately is what happened to me with Counter-Strike as well over the years. Is like at a certain point, the game everyone else is playing is kind of too good, and I'm not willing to try and do that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's really good, great game.
I wish this was an opportunity to force you to play a game, because then we could
Maybe
just find
we
the
play
most
these games-
anime video game.
Maybe this is like we play this game for like a patron video this month.
Oh, that'd be
I like
fun,
that.
actually.
Yeah,
That'd be really cool.
on Noclip too, because that's where we do our sort of let's play stuff.
That's fun.
Yeah, we could do that. What do we have selected so far? Consumi for Frank and ENA Dream Barbecue for Jeremy. Yeah, they'd be
weirdo
cool.
stuff.
Yeah, do you want to settle in to do that? Do you want to say we'll play like an hour of each?
Yeah, let's lock in. I like that.
Make some videos for the
All right,
later in the
game
year.
that Danny should play is Digimon Story Time Stranger.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dead
Lock
or
it
Alive,
in.
Venus Vacation.
Yes. Lock them both in. He's got to play both. No, what does Danny need to play that he hasn't played already?
Yeah, how can we
Angelina
expand
era.
his horizons? Angelina era is. I actually think that's a good answer because I think that like we were talking about yesterday, I think you would resonate a lot with a lot of the sort of like cultural texture that it draws
the
upon.
religious content, the Irish stuff going on in there, the general like love for classic video games and the nostalgia that's not just looking back and navel gazing. It's like actually exploring what that era of games was about and restructuring it into something new and a new take on that idea. I think you'd really love that.
Yeah, I think that's a solid answer.
I've not touched it.
It's also just like a fun, like
Yeah,
it's not,
it's also
this is
just
not like a
good.
homework assignment.
Yeah.
You would fire it up and like just be like, this is delightful. This is like a fun little game.
Yeah. You'll get the gun and like jump for joy.
There's a gun.
Yeah.
There is a gun and it
Love
only
it.
shoots up.
Like you can only like go.
You got to find out.
And
Oh, yeah,
fire the
yeah.
gun in the
Everybody on the
sky.
ground.
You can
I-
only run into a bank and order everyone to get down.
I was thinking more in there's a movie where somebody like expresses that they're like angry and they fire in the sky. So I don't know what that is.
A lot of movies do.
Oh, Point Break. It's when he lies down.
Thank you. It's Point Break. Yeah, exactly. Where he doesn't shoot him. Great. Thanks, Frank. Okay, guys, that's good. Yeah, Angelina Era. That seems interesting. I've not touched it. I honestly probably wouldn't have had you not said that. But it is a game that I think like I'd be curious about. It's just there's so many fucking games. It's just so hard to go back and play. There was games I was thinking of for Game of the Year this year, and I was like, that came out last year, and I still haven't played it. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Yeah, it's hard. Okay, most Jesse game as decided by everyone else. This is tricky because he's not submitted his Game of the Year video yet, so I don't have.
I haven't yet. Either.
I can't cheat sheet
It's
this
done.
one.
I was going to upload it, but we started recording. I don't want to mess with it.
Yeah, I mean, in the top 10 ones that he really liked, Absalom was one, of course.
Yeah.
Blueprints was another. But neither of these ended up getting into the actual top 10. I kind of feel like Blueprints might be.
That's
it,
where my gut is going as well. Yeah, Jesse's tastes are sort of like superpositioned between the most brainy games ever and things that are like so technical and mechanically driven. And I feel like Blueprints kind of taps into both of those worlds. It is one of the brainiest games I've ever played, to an extent that it like even alienated me, where I was like, holy shit, I can't do another dartboard math puzzle. Like I'm fucking dying here. But it's also just like, it has that atmosphere. It has that mystery. It has a lot of the sauce that Blake Manor has, but transposed onto this like bizarro fucking, those puzzles where you have to slide all the tiles. And if you slide the tiles right, you have to undo all the tiles. It's like but it takes you 400 hours in a notebook.
Yeah, I wasn't at all surprised that he liked this game, and I was delighted to hear he liked it so much. Similar to Lorelei, I guess, last year. It was kind of like and now I feel bad. That's not even in the top 10 either. You've got Jesse was like, this podcast getting too long. I got to produce this thing later.
Shut up! I'm not fighting for this anymore. Let it go. Let it go.
I think unless Frank has any other suggestions, I think Blueprints feels right to me as well.
Can I ask a question about the top 10 to you, Jesse?
Yeah.
Would you have, if it was between White Knuckle and Blueprints for you personally, would you have put Blueprints in there instead of White Knuckle?
For me personally, I probably would have still left White Knuckle in there over Blueprints.
Interesting. Okay.
I still prefer Blueprints quite a bit. I feel like it appeals to a lot more of my personal tastes and what I like out of playing video games. But White Knuckle is just like, I was playing it at PAX East, the demo, on my own. No one like approached me and told me to check it out. I just picked it up because I thought it looked cool. I played it for 10 minutes and I turned around and there was a group of people standing behind me saying, bro, that's the sickest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's awesome.
And like that moment alone makes me want to put it up there in the top 10 over Blueprints, even though I enjoyed playing Blueprints quite a bit more, but still.
Nice.
Cool. That makes sense. I was just curious because I know that there was a lot of like, okay, well, like two people like this one, but like one person likes this one. So I was just curious where you fell on those two.
Yeah.
Game they should play more of, or some of, all of. Game they should play / more of. This is tricky because
I'll play
Jesse
anything. I
plays
don't care.
fucking everything.
Yeah.
So this is like
Put whatever you want up.
I'm curious because like I want Jesse eventually to get to Death Stranding too, because I know like you guys were talking about the like Jesse getting super deep into mechanics, and I feel like Death Stranding has like, I don't know if puzzle element's the correct thing, but like your loadout and what you pick for missions is such a like brainy that like I had to ask so many of my friends for help playing Death Stranding, but I feel like Jesse could get into such a rich flow state if they got to Death Stranding 2. Have you touched Death Stranding 1 because that's on PC?
I never played.
He's not played a Kojima game.
No.
I
was gonna play Death Stranding 1. I started it up, and then the cutscenes were too long, and I was like, well, I'll come back another day, and it's been a year. So
I was and then again, that's like why Death Stranding 2 is like the cutscenes are so much more, like so much more is happening. But I feel like because even like there's mountain climbing elements of like which makes me think of like White Knuckle, but it's like I think you would get into a flow state with Death Stranding, regardless of 1 or 2.
The
like,
more
the
I see it,
of it
or hear you talking about it, you especially, because like I know that you don't get down with that shit. You're like, if there's cutscenes or you got to think too hard about, you're like, no. I could just be kicking a ball and rematch. So if you're telling me this is good, I know it's good. I genuinely trust so deeply all of your picks, but especially that one for me. So I appreciate that. Having that on there though would require me to play about 300 hours of video games before playing Death Stranding 2. Let's try something else.
I think 2026 is the year Jesse's got to get into Kojima games. Try MGS1, try Snake Eater Remaster, try Death Stranding.
I own them all.
Definitely one for
I
you.
own the Metal Gear Solid collection on PS3. I have every single game. I don't know why. I think I've been waiting for this day, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, it's weird because I think Death Stranding 2 is the perfect one to also suggest, but I would kind of hate to not spoil Death Stranding 1, but like, you know, it's a weird spot to get someone to start, I think, just because, I mean, it's
and then technically going back, right? Like the game, I'm sure Death Stranding 2 feels a lot better compared to Death Stranding 1.
Yeah, probably the combat especially.
Yeah.
I'd put it to this. I think it's a good idea though. I mean, we should just say he should play Metal Gear Solid 1.
I'll do it.
We should say.
I'll do it.
Just in lieu of like a Kojima game could be the answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Playing Snatcher.
Play the demo for MGS2. You know what I mean? Get hooked.
Does Revengeance count? I'll play that again.
I would actually love to see you just start Metal Gear Solid 2. I think that would be really cool, actually.
Skip straight to 2.
Yeah, I started it too. I still haven't completed one ever, and I've played 2 and 3, and they're some of my favorite games ever.
Wow.
1 is my favorite MGS. Frank, what about yours?
It's man, because I just finished 3 again. Like 2 was my favorite for the longest time, and then like 2 or 3 years ago, I replayed MGS1 on PlayStation. I was like, oh, that's the perfect video game. Maybe because it's like 6 hours, but like it really is like it's so lean and perfect. Like it's such a good game. I love how ridiculous the other Metal Gears get. I like that 2 subverts so much of what 1 is setting up, but like 1 on its own is like a masterpiece. It really is like one of the best games of all time.
Yeah, it's something special. Huge. Okay, is there any other stuff on here that we think, first of all, that Jesse hasn't played? I guess you could. Have you played Pigface?
No, I don't think so.
No.
You're just hunting for the one I haven't played just to recommend that. You're like, oh, why does this guy not play? That's the real struggle. Is I've played most things, at least through demos.
Did you play No, I'm Not a Human?
I did play No, I'm Not a Human. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I thought so.
I bought it for the thing. It's great.
Did you play Formula Star?
No, I did not.
Oh,
there you go.
That's such a Jesse game, and it's you can beat it in like an hour or 2. I think that you could have the entire experience and come talk about it, and I think you would be like, this was delightful.
Perfect. Yeah. All right.
That's a good shout. Okay, so those games are, for the first, our warm-up rounds there. Most Jeremy game was Ooh. What game they should play is Ina Dream Barbecue. Most Frank game was DDR, of course. And what they're going to play is Consume Me. Most Danny game was A Seance of Blake Manor. And what I'm going to play is Angeline Era. And most Jesse game was Blueprints, and what he's going to play more is Formless Star. So those are some interesting games. So yes, expect videos on Noclip 2 later in the month, maybe next week or the week after. We'll get some of those up, where each of us play an hour of the game that we or an hour or so of the game that we got. That would be funny if we put like Birdcage in here and somebody had to play an hour straight of Birdcage, or like no, Sectori would be actually probably a bit more like. An hour of that would be like, oh, fucking hell, this is good, but it's the same thing over and over again, and my eyes are bleeding.
Learn how to have fun, dude.
It's great. Sorry. No, you know what I mean? It's like the pacing. I'm just thinking about the video production, that's all.
Yeah.
So onward we move into some more categories. Let's go with a big one first. Most ambitious. there's no, we can interpret these as a lot of these are open to interpretation. This is one Jeremy came up with as well. I think that ambition could come in many, many forms. So kind of go for the gut on this one. I'll open it up first of all. Does anyone have anyone that stands out to them as an ambitious game? I got a couple in the pocket.
If we don't want to go exclusively off the GOTY list that we already have, I would put the 100-line Last Defense Academy up there. I played it a little bit throughout the year, and I started picking it up more seriously recently. That game is nuts. There's so much to it. There's 100 endings to the game, which is not like a fail state kind of thing of like, oh, if you go here and go into the box, you get a secret ending. It's like 30 hours to get to the end of what most people would consider the prologue of the game.
Okay.
I think it takes like 600 hours or something if you want to actually finish it, or just some crazy number of hours. And it's all good. I haven't like found it to be boring yet, which is wild because I wasn't big on Danganronpa, I won't lie. And this has just really pulled me in. I think it's fantastic. It reminds me a lot of like 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, and its willingness to get weird.
Why does this not get into your top game of the year discussion?
Didn't finish it. That's it.
I mean, that's it. It doesn't get a pass because the ending takes 600 hours or whatever.
Well, just even to get to the end of the prologue, which I haven't quite reached yet, but just to get there, I want to see what that is first before I figure this is great. Another part of it is like it's a team thing. There's games that I would like put up, but it's the team top 10. I'm not going to argue for something that literally only I would ever play.
Similarly, this is probably not a hard suggest for the winner of this, but I think it is worth mentioning in this position because it won't come up elsewhere. Is Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4 came out this year, and I fucking love Undertale. I fucking love Deltarune. This game is fantastic. I think Deltarune is ambitious for a very specific reason, which is that Toby Fox leveraged the success of Undertale to build like a sort of rotating team of creative people and artists and writers and all these people to contribute to this ongoing project that is like, I mean, when did Deltarune Chapter 1 come out? It was free when it came out, and it's just this like ongoing, like now Deltarune feels like it's this fixture in games that people just look forward to periodically. And it delivers on this like this huge project that's going to be 8 chapters, but each individual chapter feels like its own cool standalone indie RPG with a ton of heart, with unique characters. It kind of feels like it's like, it's almost like this feels derogatory, but I mean it as the highest praise. It's almost like it's like prestige television or something, where it's like each episode is like a movie comes out, and then but all the movies are connected or something. It's like an HBO show of indie games. Or
Lord
something.
of the Rings, every few years we get one, and that's all everyone, that's what happens next.
I didn't know that. I thought Deltarune was like another Undertale kind of thing.
Well, no, it is, but it's done like episodically.
No, okay, all right. Sorry, I thought.
Yeah,
I misunderstood.
And each episode is basically the length of Undertale, right? Like they're.
I think they're a little shorter. They vary in length.
Okay.
Chapter 3 was a little bit shorter from my recollection. But yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna like shoehorn this in. The reason I didn't mention it more in Game of the Year stuff is because in order to have it's kind of like a granted thing that like it's just good and it's just there, and B, I think it doesn't yield good conversation because it's kind of like, has everyone played Undertale? All right, now go play Deltarune Chapter 1 and 2, and then you can begin playing this game.
Right.
But I just want to mention it here because I do think it is really cool and ambitious to leverage that success into doing something of this magnitude.
Is it the kind of thing that it would be okay to play, or should I just wait until it's all done? Like, is it?
No, I would. Have you played Deltarune? I mean, Undertale?
Oh yeah, I loved Undertale. Yeah.
Okay, if you loved Undertale, you've never played any of Deltarune?
I played Chapter 1 of Deltarune. I thought that was like a demo, but I didn't.
It was sort of like a teaser for the remainder of it, but I would play, if you've played Deltarune Chapter 1, just start at Chapter 2 and just keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, right. It's great.
I would suggest, and I don't know if it wins, but I would suggest Atomfall for this one as well. Atomfall is a first-person game set in northern England, wherever the Windscale nuclear disaster happened, which is sort of the biggest nuclear disaster that happened in British land. It's like an alternative history. It takes place in like this sort of it feels like the island a bit, like this sort of like weird post-disaster world where there are druids living in the woods and robots roaming around, and the actual nuclear the zone that you're in, it's a zone game like Stalker, is sort of like frozen in time. Like everyone who's in there is like stuck in there. They can't get out of the zone, so it's just like a little pocket community that sort of lives underneath this whatever happened during the disaster. And yeah, it to me it was sort of, it's from a smaller studio and sort of pitched as like a, what we would call a not a triple A game, like a, you know, triple B game or whatever, you know. But the actual execution on it is fantastic. It is so well put together. There's so many different mechanics. There's multiple endings that are, you know, from you interacting or not interacting with various factions within the world. Like, it's very Fallout New Vegas, I think, is the closest game I'd probably connect it to. The shooting's great. The voice work's great. The script's great. The enemies are engaging and fun. It's sort of im-simmy in terms of getting around and the combat. Like, it feels like it's like if you know the way like Bethesda makes these games and they just keep getting bigger and bigger, and like bigger is not necessarily like better. Like, this game feels restrained in the ways that make sense, but then they put the effort in the ways, in the parts that are sort of deserve that extra bit of depth. There's a weird amount of depth for a game that is sort of simplistic in some ways. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a shout out. I really like Atomfall. It's very, very good. It's one of the best first person games of the year for sure. So I wanted to give it a shout. Anything else that feels, Consume Me feels like it should be in here as well. It's for a small team. It's doing a lot. It's trying to explain the first, you know, 20 something years of your life in a game, and every UI is new and every mechanic is new, you know what I mean? It's like a million games in one, in a way.
I was thinking Despelote for a similar reason.
It feels like it's a boring answer, but Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is also just ridiculously huge and ambitious and giant. I don't know. I feel like it's like the game has gotten enough success and praise that I feel no obligation to give it an award for.
I don't know, man, it didn't win anything at the Keeleys, so
that's true.
Is it really that good?
That is. I wonder why, actually, because it was like,
because no one plays it because it's too long. Because it's
that. I guess so. Yeah.
Not French enough.
I know people who are on that awards panel, and I know people who are on BAFTA award panels, and they get like hundreds of games to play. And I 100% bet that like Kingdom Come 2 is just too much of a, it's like too big a download, too much of a commitment, whereas they can boot up, you know, whatever, Balatro or Bollocks Pit in like 2 seconds and get it. You know what I mean?
I've never realized this until this moment, but it sounded like you said Bollocks Pit.
Bollocks Pit.
Bollocks Pit. which is a game that I'm now going to make as a parody of Bollocks Pit.
Just testicles instead.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's. Do we think, I've not played 100 Line Last Defense Academy, so I can't speak to it at all. But it feels like it's. I did hear when it came out that it was the people saying like there's a ridiculous amount of game in here.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. From my understanding, again, I can't vouch for whether or not it works all the way to the end, but just even the first, what is supposed to be the prologue has been good, and knowing that it gets weirder is a very exciting prospect to me. So that's cool. But I think that's an ambition in like scale, but Despelote and Consume Me are like, you know, they're doing the sort of stuff that is so specific. And it's like, it's especially Despelote, to go there, like knowing about the development of that game, that they actually went there and like 3D scanned areas, and the level of threat they went through to get those scans. Like, they were worried about people stealing their equipment and them being harassed.
They are from there, right? They have family there. It's not.
Yeah. But when they return, like when there was, isn't that part of the game? Isn't there like lines of them mentioning that, how they needed security in the area? Like, just stuff like that. It's not just a situation of like, I don't know, we just went on Google Maps.
Yeah, it's funny because ambition in my mind, immediately I go to sort of like, we're going to make the biggest game in the biggest world and the most reactive and the most systems. But Despelote is ambitious in a very specific way, which is that it's aiming very loftily towards like its artistic goal is ambitious, not in terms of scope, but in terms of like, we're going to capture a time and a place and do a game that is sort of like I think if I was making a game like Despelote, my fear would be, are people going to be interested in this hyper specific thing? Are people going to be interested in like interacting with this world that is more just about a sense of place and these people in this time? So it is ambitious in a way that I had not really thought about when I like pitched this award name.
Yeah. What I would say to that is that Despelote is ambitious in its narrative, but in terms of its mechanics and gameplay, it's very, very simple.
How many first-person soccer games are there, Danny? Come on.
FIFA's had it for years.
Yeah, who cares? It's not a real game. That's
no,
just
actually, no,
it
hasn't. What was the other one? Yeah, no, but that's fair. I guess like the kicking is pretty great in this. But if we were to do apples to apples with that and Consume Me, I think it probably falls behind Consume Me, just because Consume Me has both the mechanical ambition, the storytelling ambition, like it's I think it's a 2-person team. I think.
It's definitely like less. It's a few
either,
at the most.
Yeah, isn't it like also basically 2?
I think it's 4. Okay. Well, I think it was 1. I think both of them are NYU games actually. So both of them I think originally had a designer. So yeah, it's fair. They're probably similar enough.
Regardless, the real answer is Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
Jesus.
What other game has those real actors in it? Come on.
I know. It's so weird to talk about ambitious too, because things like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Death Stranding 2 are like, they are so huge and ambitious, but the resources that those people have to pull upon are also so different than...
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like, it is very hard to compare. I think Consume Me is a great answer. And I personally, I loved Despelote. Consume Me, I think, like... spoke to me more, and that might just be like personal experience or whatever. But I thought it was
the one thing I'll say about Consume Me is I was shocked that like you could it seemed like no shortcuts were taken. Like the way the UI moves around and animate, like there's so much stuff you just could have not bothered to do, or like mini games or stuff. Like it's so. I play Consume Me and I get like a headache thinking about how you would make this game. Like it seems like it's doing a lot. Yeah, I'm happy to go Consume Me. The other one I was thinking of a second ago that popped into my head, which I think I lost. Was Schedule 1, I thought, for another
for one
single
person,
dev, one person to make a game that is an online game as well as a management game as well as a 3D world. Like Schedule 1 is... For a single very young developer is like outrageously ambitious.
Yeah.
But we think Consume Me? We think Despelote?
I personally lean towards Consume Me, but a lot of this will just come down to sort of like the experience that we as individuals had with these games and our personal sort of feeling about like what ambition is important and relevant.
Yeah. I mean, if we go democracy mode, I think that makes the most sense to go with
Frank.
Consume Me.
You got to vote here, buddy.
Well, I like the idea of Consuming getting it, because then like I can look forward to playing a game that won the most ambitious award.
Wow, there we go.
There you go.
He's voting with his wallet on that one. I like it. Consume Me. Let's go then, I guess.
Let's go with that.
We're going democracy mode. Consume Me wins most ambitious. Okay. Here's an interesting one. We were trying to figure. I think me and Jesse talked about like best game under $10 or best, best short game or whatever. Jeremy came out with best value, which actually definitely covers off those. It also opens the window to the world of Game Pass as well in an interesting way. So we might have a lot of different ones being pitched for this one. So best value, guys. What's speaking to you when you think about what you value in a game? No, that's not it. We're talking, what is it? Economic
viability.
The Economic Viability Award is kicking off right now.
I will say, even though it kind of sucks, Skate is free, and I did put over like 35 hours.
There you go. There's the challenge here is we are
enjoy
arguing
that.
I love this.
free games work.
I love this.
Genshin Impact you could play for like a million hours.
But would they be hours well spent?
Yeah, are you talking shit on my got good pulls, all right? I'm sorry you can't. I'm sorry you have bad luck, but all my time I spend in
Listen, I didn't get the right waifus.
Yeah, you didn't get the 5-star pull. It's because you're not good enough.
I'll put Cape Hideous in here. It's
Yes.
$6 game, very it might come up in some other game in terms of, unique style or something like that in a different category, but $6 game. I mean, it's not very long, so,
It's also a 2024 game.
Oh, is it really? Oh, it's
believe
out
so.
then.
Boom,
It's
boom,
out then.
boom.
It doesn't make it. That's,
But
Yeah,
you and I
exactly.
both played it for the first time in 2025. So
did.
Glad to, like, how do we give Cape
Hideous?
Hideous an award?
I know. Cape Hideous is
Most hideous game. How do we do that?
it's so good.
It's real hideous and it's real good. It's a good time. I'm glad to mention it, if nothing else.
For sure.
I will invent a category to give to Cape Hideous if we have to.
Do it.
2024 is best game in 2025. What else? What else do we think here?
I'm looking at prices. I can't remember how much all these games cost.
Exactly. Cap and Mordem might be one for you. That game was only $12.
Or Karimara. That game was $5, right?
Karamara.
Karamara is actually a good shout as well.
Yes.
Cup
Games
of
are good
Mortem is
value
also
for us.
great.
We don't spend money on them. We get keys.
You don't get keys.
Sometimes.
I get keys all the time.
You get keys. Everyone else has their monthly expenses that get paid for by our patrons.
Yeah,
Especially Game
Danny
of the
won't
Year.
pay for my games. He put
Especially
all the
Game of
money
the
into
Year.
Digimon for me. That was it. That was my expense for the year.
That's why you keep putting Digimon on the expense list. So
Well, I do it every month. I just want to make sure that you know I'm buying a copy every month.
what's how do you spell it again?
CAPUT, and that should get you there.
No, not Cap and Mordem. The other one.
Karamara.
Karamara.
Carimara.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think Karamara is in for a shout because that's $5, and that is one of the best games I played this year, probably. I think it might be in
Yeah.
my top 10. I really liked it.
It was really good.
Yeah, Karamara
much is
is
it?
not bad shit. It's cheap too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tenner, right? Yeah.
How much was Look Outside? Because that's
This is what I love. This is
okay.
this is
Look Outside.
capitalism coming in.
Look Outside is $9.99. That has to be the fucking value of the year. That game is enormous. It has multiple endings. The developer kept adding. There's I think it's like a 2.0 release now that has more endings and more fucking people. I played this game and I was like, I've got a companion who was like, I'm going to nominate for best character of the year, best original character of the year. Well, that's spoiler. That's one category we've talked about. I looked up to see how far I was into this game. And I just looked up like a no commentary walkthrough and skipped, like an hour or two in to see like, all right, this will be definitely behind where I am because I've played way more than that. I had no idea what they fucking were doing. I had no idea. They were hanging out with people I'd never seen. They had companions I hadn't even met yet. This game is so like open-ended and weird. You can replay it a ton. It's $9.90 fucking 9.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think Skate and Karamara their sort of value to goodness ratio feels really good because Skate is a game that is like, it's free and I definitely had fun with it, but also ultimately, that game is limited in the fun you can have with it, sadly, unless you're playing with like your mates and stuff. Karamara is really good. It's only $5. It's very, very, very cheap, but it is a short enough game. I can see Karamar winning this, but I think Look Outside probably, just because of how much game is in there and how good it is sounds about right to me.
Yeah, Karamara is fantastic. I don't mean to sell it short, and it is unbelievably cheap, and everyone should buy it and play
100%.
it.
Everyone should get it. It's great.
But for the 2 to 3 hours you will spend exhausting it, I mean, you could spend dozens and dozens and dozens of hours in multiple playthroughs of Look Outside. And the fact that the developer released it, had this massive success, and then off the back of that, I mean, this developer, is it Frankie Pixel? I don't want to misname this person. Francis Coulomb, who I believe goes by Frankie Pixel.
Okay.
Released this game. This was they were working on another huge game, and then this was like, I think it was a Game Jam game that had a buzz around it, and they were like, I'll make this into a full thing because people really like it.
Yeah.
And instead of releasing it, having a hit game, taking that money and being like, all right, fuck it, I'm off to work on my main project, they took that success and they were like, I'm going to add a shit ton of this so that people get even more of this game because people love it. So I think that is like, if that's not value, what is value?
All right, Look Outside wins. Notable mentions, Karamara and Skate. They feel like they should be in there for notable, so I'll stick them in. Best Friendslop game. So this is a game that maybe it's not the best game, but it's a real good game. When you're playing with your buddies, these games are usually the sort of, 4-person co-op experience that is sort of maybe not the most mechanically deep thing. Maybe it is. You kind of know a Friendslop game when you see it. I'll put forward Peak for this one. Peak came out this year. Played a bunch of Peak at QuakeCon with my friends and had a really great time. It's a game that's clearly hit. People are interested in it, and I will say I do find it to be more mechanically interesting than a lot of Friendsloppy games. That a lot of them are sort of like a bit memey, sort of by design, some of them, or like rely on horror quite a lot. Peak is doing something sort of novel in terms of its mechanics in some way. I mean, there were games like Grow Up or is it Go Up? That Ubisoft, Grow Up, I think, isn't it?
And also Grow Home,
and Grow Home, which do the climbing thing, and obviously,
Grow Up and Grow Home, brother.
Grow fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, grow fuck yourself. I can't believe they're bringing it back.
And then we've talked a lot about, there's been a bunch of games like there are indie climbing games, a bunch of them we've been talking about this year as well. But I think the way it handles it is really interesting, and like how much you can bring up and what items you should bring, and working with friends and grabbing onto friends. And I thought it was, for a Friendslop game, it was pretty, feature rich.
It's certainly the best of the Friendslop. I hate that phrase. I hate that it works so well.
It's great,
but it just sounds derogatory. But
it is. I mean, it is derogatory because you could say like best co-op game.
Yeah, you could. But when you say Friendslop, no one's calling it Split Fiction Friendslop.
Exactly. I want to nominate Arc Raiders just to piss everyone off.
That's good. Let's
Anti-Chill Zone. I like that pick.
And I want to nominate Night Rain.
Actually,
because
Arc Raiders
is funny.
Is it Stranger Slop? That is not Friendslop.
That's true.
I think Arc Raiders doesn't. The only reason it doesn't work is that if you play in duos or trios, you don't have enough time to slop. You're just gonna get killed. It's not.
It's not Friendslop. I just thought it was funny.
Unfortunately, it's not. Does Night Rain feel Friendslop-ish?
It does not, because Night Rain is if you play it like a Friendslop game and you're just like, let's fucking, what's over here, dude? It's over for you're fucked. You know what I mean?
Look at that crazy dog, dude. Can you pet it? And you're dead.
Yeah, if you're playing Night Rain like that, you're fucked.
My friends and I were arguing over over Muppets versus Puppets, and like during a boss fight, and we died. Like,
oh my god!
Yeah.
On that topic of Muppets and Puppets, the ultimate Friendslop this game this year. Jesus, I had a stroke. Is Repo.
Oh yeah, did that come out this year?
That was February of this year. Well, last year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did it really?
Yep.
Wow. So
Repo,
I've not played enough. I've not played any of this, but it's clearly. I mean,
it's the sloppiest of the Friendslop.
It's got 116,000 positive.
That's how you know it's
overwhelmingly positive reviews. Wow, that is wild. What do you do in this game?
Nothing. I don't know. It's like a Lethal Company.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a Lethal Company which came out last year, right? And so did Content Warning. Did it?
Yes.
Yeah.
We played it last year. Yeah. Well, you were gone. We were doing some content creation.
I think Peak is.
Oh, I know. I was in that video. Was I?
No, we were talking about how we wished you were in the video.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Personally, for me, I think Peak takes it because I think it is more original in its mechanics and presentation and tone and atmosphere. With it, it's innovating within the genre of Friendslop.
Peak is definitely the best Friendslop. I think Repo is the most Friendslop.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's an important distinction.
Peak is almost too good to be called Friendslop. It's like dangerously close to being not allowable. Okay, Peak, we think?
Yeah.
I think it's Peak.
For Friendslop to the couch for best couch game. This can be couch co-op. This can be just best game to fucking hang out on the couch and just like play it for hours and hours and hours. Anyone stand out? I'll start one. That Lego Party game is fantastic. We play a lot of it here in the house. I also got it for my brother's birthday. I got him that and Ghost of GOTY for GOTY, whatever it is, for whatever it is, culture, fuck it, whatever.
Who cares?
Fucking who gives a shit? I'll say it the way we say in America. I call it Tamriel, not Tamriel. Fuck those.
Dude, you assimilated back to American life so fast.
I did. Yeah.
Good for you.
I gotta be careful. I got that. I don't have a green card anymore. I'm all right. Although who knows? Who knows? They're picking up citizens. I guess
denaturalize you for mispronouncing Ghost of GOTY.
Exactly. Yeah, Lego Party. It's really well done. It's Mario Party. It's better than Mario Party. It's not as I hate Mario Party because of just how ridiculous the stars are at the end. This game can get that way, but it does it, I think, more fair with the big golden bricks you get and stuff like that. Animation's great. It feels like the Lego Movie games. There's multiple stages that are different length, which is handy, especially if you're like, we're playing with our kid. We don't want to do the super long one. The mini games are varied and interesting and fun, which I really like. So yeah, Lego Party's pretty solid. I'd put it forward for a contender at the very least. You got any other ones?
I mean, I already brought it up, but Split Fiction would probably be a good one for me. I think it is the best game to play with somebody, especially if they also think the story is bad.
Okay.
Or the writing is bad. Because it's both fun to play and enjoy your time, and then it's also fun to laugh at how ridiculous any of the writing is.
So the key is that you either have two people who like the writing or two people who hate the writing. If you
can find two people who like the writing, that's so mean. I'm sorry.
Wow.
That's so mean.
Wow. Okay. It's like The Room. It's like watching.
Yeah, it's like you're throwing popcorn at the screen. You're like, yay.
Great. Love it. Your own television. You just throwing some forks at it. Great. Any other games pop up for folks?
I don't know if this strictly fits the category, but Chelsea and I played the entirety of Silent Hill F on vacation together, just like chilling on the couch and like handing the controller back and forth and just kind of like dissecting. I think like a good couch game is not just like it's fun to play on the couch, but also you like put the controller down and you're eating like a loaf of bread and talking about the story and like dissecting it and being like, what do you think this means? What do you think this character is going to do? What do you think's going to happen here? It yields interesting discussion, and it's just a fun game to kind of like bounce the controller back and forth and play the entire thing in a couple nights.
Yeah, in a previous year, I would have put forward something like Ghost of Tsushima for a similar reason, because like it's just a game to have on a big screen and be surrounded by and sort of sit into and spend time in that world. But I wouldn't for GOTY. I think it's I don't know. It's for whatever reason. It's just too similar, I guess, to what came before. But Silent Hill F sounds like it's doing something similar that way.
There's something about the like when I originally read the category of couch game, I was like, oh, it's couch co-op or something like that. But now that I'm sort of recontextualizing it with my own experience, because I've not done a lot of couch co-op this year, the couch game to me is sort of like it's like a movie theater movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Death Stranding probably fits in here too. You know.
Yeah.
Because
sure.
of that. Yeah, it's like an experiential thing, right?
Yeah, you play it on a big TV. You're not like sitting at I wouldn't play Silent Hill F at my computer. It wouldn't have the same impact.
Right. Yeah. Me like Red Dead Redemption. That's why I'd never played it on PC, for instance, because, I need to sit down and relax. So what do we think? We got Lego Party, Split Fiction, Silent Hill F, some different interpretations of best couch game there. Does anyone feel particularly strong about any of them? Lego
Frank,
Party is a game that I think is impossible to play anywhere else but a couch with some other people.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So that's where I'd say there. Split Fiction though sounds like it's got the chops. One thing I'll say about Lego Party: hard to play with two people. You kind of need to have at least three. You know, they fill in AI people. You know, just NPCs, but like it's not as fun with just two.
Good thing it's not best love seat game, or that would be out. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
A little bit of an awkward seating situation. Yeah.
Someone has to sit on the floor.
Oh, I'll sit
Frank,
on your lap.
I'm curious what Frank thinks about this, because I feel like there's a few that didn't make it to the top 10 of yours that might fit this. Like WWE 2K25 feels like a couch game to me. It feels like it's like a hangout game that your friends are over. You're making like a big fat guy wrestler who's you know what I mean?
I mean, like, my experience with that is all through, like, with Twitch and all my friends hanging out in Discord and we're laughing. But it's like I had those experiences as a kid, like, doing that. So, like the thing that is closest to me would be, like, Mega Bonk I didn't play it on the couch, but that was the game I'd get on my Steam Deck and then just lie in bed. And there's always, every year, there's always, like, what I call, like, the best Steam Deck game, which, in years past, I would, like, lie down on the couch and just zone out. It was, like, Vampire Survivors, Hades 2. This year's that was like Mega Bonk, even if for just like a week, where it was just like, oh, just pick up the Steam Deck, lie down, and just zone out with that. And that could be on the couch, it could be wherever. But yeah, I didn't have any, like, I play all my games by myself in this chair. I don't have like a So I can just take myself this category. I don't have an anecdote.
No, I think that's a good interpretation though.
Yeah.
Is like the couch is in the same way that like the movie theater movie is a separate experience than like the couch co-op thing. I think that the couch game can be like best game to kind of fucking veg out and play too.
Yeah, the couch is more of a way of thinking, you know.
It's a philosophical sort of space.
Couch,
Yeah, metaphorical couch. I was gonna say Marvel Cosmic Invasion for you, Frank, would be a good one because you were big on that. That's like a
Yeah. I just didn't have a co-op experience. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So which one stands out to you for this one? We've got 3 different interpretations. Does anyone feel particularly strong about them? Like I said, I put my sort of thing forward for Lego Party.
I think you've made a good point with Lego Party in that it's like it seems like you kind of can't really play that any other way. Sort of like Mario Party, like you can play it online, but it's not the same unless you have the Nintendo Switch 2 camera. Then
what I think is good about Lego Party, exactly. What I think about Lego Party, which none of us have. What I think about Lego Party is good about it is that it is a multi-generational game. Like it feels good in the living room. Like we played it here, but I've also played it at my brother's place with his kids. And, it's like my 7-year-old's playing, there's an 11-year-old playing, there's me playing, there's people who don't play games playing. You're able to do that thing with it. And it is really good. I think it's never a game that's going to win any Game of the Year awards because it sort of is what you see as well. Like Mario Party is also not going to win a Game of the Year awards. They're kind of like stunt games or something. They're like a weird subgenre of. They're like weirdly utilitarian. These types of games. They're like board games. You know,
I was going to say they're like board
very
games. That's literally what I was just about to say.
So it's we don't consider them as grand and interactive in the way that maybe we do other games as a result of that. But it's really well made.
You've convinced me on Lego Party. I feel like in addition to it being like the couch is a gathering space for people to come together, it's like you have like a family party or a holiday party. Everyone is like, just fire up, throw Lego Party on and people are coming and going. And also I feel like playing Lego Party alone on your PC is like eating sushi with a fork. Like it's like... It's like fucking, that's disgusting.
It's like what went wrong, man.
Yeah. What went wrong in your life for you to end up doing
They give
this?
you chopsticks, brother. What happened?
Yeah, they're in the bag, man. Why'd you go in the fucking silverware drawer?
Open the silverware drawer and it's just full of 50 soy packets.
And a bunch of unused chopsticks. You're like, I'm saving this for one day. One day it'll be worth it.
I gotta fill a bottle with it. Do we feel all right with Lego Party then?
Yeah.
That's all right. All right, that's cool. I'm glad to give that game some flowers. It is very well. Me and Frank played it at Summer Games Fest, and it was the game that we were like, somebody's like, it's an established IP. That's we got previews for, and we were like, oh, what's it gonna be? They didn't say what it was, and then after the Summer Games Fest, they were like, emailed us said, oh, it's Lego Party. I was like, fuck. It's like Lego Party. What the fuck is Lego Party? And then we went and played it, and it was like, oh, this is really well good. This is like legit really good. So yeah, that was cool. Similar, I guess, in some ways. Lego Party could apply to this maybe in some way. I'm not quite sure. Best franchise game. So these are games that are, you can interpret this in lots of different ways. I wouldn't say this is sequels. This is more games built around a franchise like FIFA / EA, FC, WWE, things like that. Like, I guess sequels could also count, but like, maybe not the first game. Like a franchise usually has a few games, like Katamari works, right? Because there's like a bunch of these games that are out there. So yeah, there's a bit of subjective interpretation on this one too in terms of what a franchise is. But I thought this would be a good opportunity to give some flowers to games that again are doing well within their franchise. Maybe Pirates, Yakuza, and Hawaii is also one to stick in here. What do you guys think?
Donkey Kong. I haven't even played it. Like Donkey Kong.
It is definitely the best Donkey Kong game outside of the Country series, which isn't really that many games.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it like, what is it? My favorite is Donkey Kong Country 2, which is what, like 94? Let me double check.
Is that Diddy's Kong
1995. So it's the best Donkey Kong game in 30 years.
That's what we call it that now.
I truly stand by that. I really think, yeah.
Yeah, they
Diddy,
really got to rename
Kong
Diddy now.
Quest.
That's why Diddy wasn't in Bonanza. They had him in there, and they were
What
like,
are we
I don't
gonna
know,
call him
guys.
now, guys?
The
Oh,
optics
brother.
on this are dog shit.
Literally, if we were doing they should have renamed that 50 Cent documentary to Diddy's Con Quest.
Oh no.
That's crazy. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Nintendo were probably the most mad of anyone other than the victims of that situation.
They go to the same the copyright or trademark support group as Corona the beer does. You know,
Oh yeah.
just in terms of fucking world events destroying your
You would
brands.
think, by the way, that COVID would have put the sales for Corona down.
100%.
They went up. At least where I was.
I think I think beer sales
Probably-
around the world went
Probably,
up.
yeah, that's a good point.
I know in my
but like you
fucking
could drink anything.
corner
We
of
have other
Oakland,
cerveza. I don't know, whatever.
I think they just had a lobbying group that made everyone call it COVID-19. That's what I think happened because we
That
don't
makes a lot
call
of
it the
sense.
coronavirus anymore.
They paid
you know?
Trump a lot to call it the China virus just to get him
Exactly.
off
That's
their
what
back.
it was. Yeah, totally. Anyway, is Donkey Kong Bonanza getting this? What do we think? Any other ones? WWE 2K25? I think Frank says
I think
it's
if
like
Frank's the one
it's a
pushing
good
Donkey
one.
Kong over WWE, you don't even
It
have
is
the
such a
conversation.
good point because it's like I really like Pirates Yakuza and it's awesome just because it's definitely the Yakuza game of the year. But like Infinite Wealth raised the bar so high, and Pirates Yakuza is just more of that, etc. Like WWE is good. It's like I think this most recent one with just some of the toggles they change is really good. But yeah, it's if you think of Donkey, like even just Nintendo, like for me, Nintendo games are all kind of one big franchise because everything bleeds into like Mario Kart or Smash Brothers. It's all the same crap. But yeah, now that we think about it, it's like, yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza really is the best Donkey Kong game in 30 years. Like,
Yeah.
it truly is like, oh crap. But it also feels like a sequel to Mario Odyssey. Like it is a continuation of that gameplay design. So it's like, yeah, damn, it's hard to have anything even get close to Donkey Kong Bonanza just in terms of like carrying forward. I hate carrying forward, establishing IP. We're gonna talk, whatever. But really, it is like
Get your tie and suit on, you know?
Yeah. But and it also coincided with the launch of like the Donkey Kong thing in Osaka, and then I think Universal Studios Florida, which now I'm like, shit, I want to go see that. And so yeah, damn, it's yeah, I don't know. Donkey Kong Bonanza. That wasn't even in my like head when we mentioned
Me
this.
too. I
Yeah.
actually hadn't thought about it either, but yeah, it's hard to disagree with it, and it deserves it. It's not like, oh no, it technically qualifies and it's good and it's in our top 10, so we have to put it in. It is actually, like as you guys said, I think what's important for best franchise game is that it's not just a good game, but it is a good game within the franchise. It is standing, and I think this might clear the bar more than any of the other games.
I thought Frank was going to
thinking
put
of.
up Battlefield 6. To be fair,
yeah, that you
also
could
the first
also,
good Battlefield in 30 years. So I thought that would have worked for you. But I'm glad to hear that Donkey Kong wins it.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking for like how frustrating Donkey Kong 64 is. This gets rid of all that. I like the most insane thing with Donkey Kong 64 is in order to pick certain collectibles, you have to be like that character. So like Trixie Kong can only get like mangoes. Or I don't know, whatever.
Is Trixie Kong a sex worker?
That's Candy Kong. Candy Kong is the
Wow.
Is she, I don't know if she's canonically a sex worker.
Well,
I didn't read the
look at some
manual.
fan art. No, sorry.
She may be coded as such.
Trixie is like
Only in the Japanese version.
you know,
Yeah.
sounds like a stripper name or something. I don't know.
Is her name Trixie in Japanese? I'm going to look this up.
Oh, Candy Kong. Oh Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw the official picture and I thought that was fan art. So
Is there a Trixie Kong?
That's the girl Kong.
That's
right?
Trixie Kong is the little girl.
Yeah.
That's Dixie Kong, isn't
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Oh,
Tiny
that's
Kong.
Tiny Kong.
Oh God.
Tiny Kong.
Hold on, we got to bring up. We need a little sidebar here.
I did not
Kong
call
family.
Dixie Kong a sex worker. I promise. That's not what I meant.
Oh,
see.
okay. So I'm not the only one. There's like a Reddit thread from 5 years ago. There's like a
Are you guys getting
generation of
Mandela
people-
affected?
No, yeah. There's a generation of people who called Tiny Kong Trixie Kong. I always thought it was Trixie Kong. Her name is Tiny Kong.
I wonder was
That's
there like
great.
a comic book where they said it wrong or something?
Right?
Was it in
It's
that
like
bad
Bernstein
Canadian
Bears.
animated show? Maybe. Maybe. That's
I-
what it
What is
think
up
that-
with the cast of Donkey Kong? We've a convicted sex offender in there, like a lifelong rap industry bad boy, and we have it's,
I like
I don't
that
know
you
what's-
pivoted out of what you were calling P. Diddy to be like, just to be clear, he also
and
made
also
music.
and also a great
Allegedly.
artist.
New
that
York
has added to the
financier,
culture. Exactly.
Jeffrey
yeah.
Epstein.
Also, I was gonna say, if you think about the original Super Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong is the villain, and now for 40 years later, now he's like Mario's not even in this thing.
Yeah, he's
completely taken
rehabilitated.
over.
Yeah.
He's completely taken over the Mario Brothers franchise. This is the best Mario game.
He's
in
like,
40
I
years.
was here before you were, Mario. You were
Yeah.
just Jumpman before. I made you.
And I still haven't beaten Donkey Kong Bonanza, but I know Odyssey had such an insane finale, like it was a musical, that I'm like, oh crap, what does Bonanza do at the? I've heard good things, but I don't know. So now I'm like, oh shit.
I like the idea of Frank giving extra points to Donkey Kong for a hypothetical ending that he's looking forward to enjoying.
Yeah.
That's good.
This has no bearing on the award we're giving right now, but
Okay.
I need you guys to see this. I looked up a family tree of the Kong family, and their
Oh, no.
uncle. I clicked on Uncle Kong because
How
I'd
much
never heard
inbreeding
of
is there?
Uncle Kong.
Oh, no.
I need everyone to go to Staff Chat and just take a look at Uncle Kong
Holy shit.
What's this?
Hell yeah.
Where did you send this? On the Discord?
on the Discord Staff Chat. Yeah,
Okay.
that's Uncle Kong.
He's got a John Waters mustache.
Yeah, I was literally about to say he's John Waters Kong.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, you're right. Look at this guy.
He appears only in the Japanese strategy guide for Super Donkey Kong 2, Dixie and Diddy's Koryaku guidebook, Kanzenhan.
He looks like he's going to sell me a tincture that smells mysteriously of piss.
He does look like a snake oil salesman.
He is. His actual thing is he's a banana seller from Osaka.
There you go.
Oh my
kidding.
fucking dude, he's got the Kansai
So
dialect.
it's Oji-san Kong. It's Oji-san
Wow.
Kong.
He looks
Oji-Kong.
like he's come to my town to build a monorail.
Yeah. Or sell
Yeah.
you a monorail.
Yeah,
that
that's what I
he
meant.
definitely
Sorry.
owns. Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Uncle Kong.
He put North Haverbrook on the map. Yeah, that's wild. All right, best franchise game, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Makes a lot of sense. Most addictive. So what's the game that you couldn't put down even if you wanted to? I mean, for me, it's probably Arc Raiders, just in terms of pure hours at this stage. I am definitely addicted to the loop of it. Addicted could also be in derogatory as well. We can interpret addicted here. It can be good or bad. Bollocks Pit, for instance, is another one that comes to
Ball
mind
pit I
here.
put pretty high there, yeah.
Sorry, Ball Pit. I gotta stop saying X.
No, say
it's
no,
Bollocks
because
Pit.
I think
Bollocks
you have
Pit
to
is
say
way
the X.
funnier.
Say it. It's Bollocks Pit is really
Bollocks
funny.
Pit.
Now that
Bollocks
Jeremy
Pit.
pointed
Bollocks
out that
Pit,
it does
mate.
sound like you're saying, "You're fucking gonna go throw you in a Bollocks Pit." I love that a lot. It's really good.
Oh man,
I love that.
I love the idea this Cockney guy has a pit of people's testicles in his backyard.
Yeah.
You
would
Bollocks Pit? Yeah.
I would have some follow-up questions about the Bollocks Pit
Yeah.
for sure.
It's gross. No thanks. Yeah, what do you guys think? What makes sense on this one? Most addictive.
For me, it's White Knuckle. White Knuckle was a poltergeist in my brain. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't stop playing it. I just it very rarely I will have a game that I just need to complete to get on with my life. And White Knuckle was that for me. And it wasn't in a way where it was like, oh, I need to get rid of this. It was like I knew I could do it, even though it felt so unattainable. And I was like, I need to prove to myself that I can do it. And it was just this peak experience getting there. It was insane.
Hell yeah. Okay. Jesse, you also mentioned yesterday that the ending, the last level in this or whatever, was a particular rush. Do you think that it's an addictive? Do you think it falls into this one well?
I think it definitely has that compulsive design to it. Not dark patterny, but it's just that kind of thing where you're like, oh, dude, no, I know I could get further now. And once you get back into it, you're like, oh, this jump that I did that I used to be scared of is now just one move. I remember multiple moments in White Knuckle where something used to be I would do every hand hold. I was very scared. And then 2 or 3 runs, I was just like, nope, turn around, double hand jump all the way over. Feels really good. I don't know if I would personally put it up as addictive, mostly because Sectori also came out last year. That's my pick.
Sectori.
With a bullet.
That's not-
That is, oh my goodness. I could have played, I did play that game for 8 hours straight. I don't do that anymore. That was great.
Yeah. Sectori is a good shout. What I would say about Sectori is I think a large amount of it for me was about the music pulling me back in.
Yep.
So much of that game is about wanting to be in that flow state, it's kind of, there are times where I play Sectori and I get burned out and I'm like, okay, I've played 50 minutes of this. I am I need to step away for a little while. And then there's this constant tension between that feeling growing and the feeling of wanting more, of wanting to jump in again. To be in, it was all about just being in that space and being in that flow state, and I felt like I was getting better the longer I played it as well, because like you're just like thinking about less and focusing on what was happening. What I wanted, I'm not going to nominate it for a win, but I do want to circle back around to Arc Raiders for a second, only because when we went out, myself, Frank, and Ole, to Stockholm to spend time with them and play it then, and I subsequently went out again, or I was in the area and went and met them again. I like that you're saying that White Knuckle doesn't have that dark pattern stuff, and I think Sectori also doesn't, whereas there are plenty of games we've played and talked about over the years. What's the one-arm band that won again called?
Clover Pit.
Clover Pit, for instance. Bollocks Pit. Bollocks Pit.
That's what I'm going to call every fucking gambling game from now on, is Bollocks Pit.
Clover X Pit.
Pit-like.
Those games obviously are in that, Pit like, yeah. Those are in that world. And Bollocks Road to a certain extent as well. Maybe at a certain amount of play hours, that game sort of falls into that as well. Yeah. Arc Raiders, to me, a lot of those trials and things that you do, the quests for me were just like, I was happy to have something else to do. It was more of a pacing thing.
Yeah.
All the trials and stuff that they added in, and all of the expeditions and the Candleberry stuff, like none of this was in the game when we went out a year earlier. So I was just really impressed by the fact that they managed to get some of these systems in and working in a way that are interesting. I think probably because I had seen what the game looked like earlier, and it was like, they were really struggling with like trying to get people to care about loot, which is, when you play that game now, is insane, because that's like the whole game is about the loot. I wanted to mention that. It keeps pulling me back in. The trials is the thing that I love, and going up the leaderboards, and that's what keeps me coming back in a bunch. White Knuckle or Sectori seems to be the conversation here.
I do have to float one more.
Okay.
Night Rain is the game that I played the most of this year, and it is not dark patterned in the sense that it doesn't instantly cue you back. It bounces you back to a hub world where there's like, you can customize your loadout a little bit, and there's sort of like very light touch narrative stuff you can do for each of the characters. I found it like unbearably Moorish. It's so fun. It's so easy to just like hop in another one, and it's just like a very satisfying, fun loop. I do feel like a lot of this category just comes down to what clicks with your individual brain. Yeah. White Knuckle and Night Rain just happened to be the two games that sort of like grabbed me the most this year. I think, was it last year? I don't even know now. I think it was last year. Deadlock probably would have been my suggestion for most addictive. It doesn't even necessarily mean that I loved it the most or anything, and that's also the case with White Knuckle and Night Rain.
Or that you played it the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
that's true.
The game that you played the most might be less addictive, but just have more stuff in it you want to explore or something. Between these two, what would you say? Between Night Rain and White Knuckle, which one feels more addictive to you? Like
White Knuckle
pulled back
definitely.
in.
Oh man, I think it was White Knuckle. White Knuckle was like, the word I would use is I don't know if this, I actually do, I have OCD. I don't know if this is related to that, but there are games that like become compulsive to me, where it's like it's the Natasha Dow Schul, I think is her name, wrote about the machine zone when she wrote about like gambling machines. And the machine zone is like, it's this guilty pleasure space you get into. She writes about it as an overtly negative thing. I think it can be sort of like a fun, indulgent thing to jump into a little bit, to dip your toes into.
If you're not losing money, maybe.
Right. Yeah, that's the key thing there. But the machine zone is like, it's this like naughty, like, I know I should stop, but I'm going to do more, and I know I shouldn't, but I want to. And it's going to like, it's kind of a self-aware indulgence, overindulgence.
Yeah.
And I think White Knuckle for me was like, I don't need to do this right now, but like I need to do this right now. And it's definitely not the game I played the most of. I think I played like definitely under 15 hours, but that was in like a day.
All right. It's between you guys, I think, on this one. Who feels...
I mean, if I'm going to argue for it, Sectori, I think I agree on everything you're saying, Jeremy, about White Knuckle. And I feel a similar way about Sectori, about like that compulsion to keep playing it. I guess if I were to make a point about the concept of the addictiveness. White Knuckle for me was addictive in the way that like I wanted to keep going. I wanted to get further. Not just in like a score way. Like I think if we're going to take the addictive angle of it and maybe twist that a little harder, like Sectori has score attack. It has leaderboards like that aren't just based on your distance and like how quickly you get through it. It's like, how can you maximize your score? It has flashy lights, jingly keys. It's got good music and sound effects and everything. And like White Knuckle was more like, again, I'm with you. It was more of a compulsion thing where Sectori, as much as I like Geometry Wars, I think taps even further into, it feels like Zoomer Geometry Wars. Like it's designed for you to not look away. You can't, I love that game. It hurts my eyeballs at times when you get all of the letters. Like when you spell out Sectori, it has that that feature, and it goes bright rainbow colors. I feel like I'm playing Cocomelon, which is both an insult and a compliment. It is so good. It like fries my brain in a way that White Knuckle, despite the fact that I also couldn't put it down until I was done, didn't have the same level of an effect on me.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no, I think Sectori feels like a good pick for this one.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah, if I played both games and Sectori was the one that grabbed me that much more. So
like a nice fresh cigarette.
That's
exactly,
right.
Yes, yeah, totally. Yeah. It does feel like when you're playing it, you need to be like, you need to like walk outside and suddenly you're in like the smoking area in a Danish club. You know what I mean? It has that sort of feel to it. Or probably
my wife tries to talk to me
from.
and it's all muffled
Swedish.
And it's just like
totally,
bass thumping.
Yeah.
I don't hear
100%. Yeah, you didn't realize your ears were fucked until you went outside, kind of thing. Yeah. Here's an interesting one. So I think I forget which one I had down, Jeremy, or maybe you had them both and I had one. We had best novel mechanic and most original. So these I think are there is daylight between the two of these, but I want you to be sort of aware of the two of them because I think this might end up being like a sort of a conversation that bounces into both, maybe. So we're looking at best novel mechanic, and just to have your eyes on best or sort of most original, not best original. And most original is also coming down the pipe, as it were. So what stands out to you guys when it comes to this? I mean, we've had, so many different genre mashups over the years. We have established ones, but then there's also art styles and visions and ideas that feel fresh and new. I mean, I'd like to start with mechanic if we can, because I think that's or maybe we should start with most original because it'll start the conversation. I don't know. What's standing out for you guys?
It's tough. I didn't really personally feel like there was a ton of like really unique mechanics this year. Like there's the stuff in Motion Wreck, which I thought was pretty cool. Like the way that you record your movements to solve puzzles. That was pretty interesting.
Oh yeah. That was cool actually. Yeah, that is pretty, yeah.
Motion Wreck is a tough one for me because as much as I thought that mechanic was brilliant, I think it was like more novel looking at it on the surface than like Oo's bomb mechanic, which feels more like, it's kind of like a Bomberman puzzle platformer. Like it feels very grounded in video game tradition. Yeah. But I feel like having played both of them, Motion Wreck feels like it hits a wall with its mechanic a bit more, where it's like less intuitive. It feels like they were scraping the barrel a little more to yield a full game worth of puzzles out of that mechanic.
In terms of novelty, though, the bomb gameplay in that's just bomb chicken. Like it's in the inspiration because
that's what I'm saying is like I wouldn't nominate for this category, the bomb, but it is interesting to compare it to Motion Wreck because Motion Wreck is very original, but like the mileage that they get out of that, I feel like is
totally
limited.
Totally agree.
How do we feel about the altars, Jesse, for any of these?
I don't think the altars, that's tough. It doesn't really have a novel mechanic. It just kind of has a novel idea, which is only novel if you don't read sci-fi novels. No pun intended. It's I guess in a game, the idea of having a bunch of clones is interesting, but it's basically just a resource management crafting game. There's really not much about it that's like particularly unique in that way.
What
the
about
base building's cool, but
novel mechanic? I feel like there might not be one of them, but I do feel like Skin Deep is a game that is just full of novel mechanics.
Skin Deep is definitely the pick. The sneezing is the funniest thing to have in a video game. And I've never seen anything else do sneezing.
It's very Kojima. I found that very like, putting the porno mag on the ground kind of silly, this.
Yeah, Skin Deep is something that I feel like deserves to be mentioned in our Game of the Year chats. I think it was one of the best games of this year. I ran out of steam on it a little bit, but not because it wasn't a great game. Again, this is just down to like personal taste. But I played probably at least like 80% of it. I got pretty close to the end. And yeah, I think it's just like
that's the best mechanic is the cat.
Yeah, right,
I love that game, by the way. I finished it. It's my favorite Blendo game, which is big because I mean I thought Quadrilateral Cowboy was fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's someone described earlier. I think it was Frank described it as like a game designer's game. I think Skin Deep is similarly like if you're a game
Skin
designer,
Deep is a game journalist's game.
Yes, if you like immersive sims, we've got your back.
Yeah. I'm trying to think like because that most original might catch that, but best novel mechanic we would have to pick. I think Skin Deep has a lot of overlapping systems, so it's hard to isolate one.
Well, if I added an S to the mechanic, I think it might, because I'll be honest, I think it's hard to give it most original because it is very imsimmy, but I do think the way it approaches immersive sims in its mechanics is the thing that sets it apart. I know it's real splitting hairs over which feels better there, but I don't know if I'd say most original because it is a game where you're just like, it's a base game, right? It's like an invasion game, stealth game.
System Shock, right? Like it's there's a lot of lines I could draw from at least originality anyway.
I do like the idea of best novel mechanic as an award that goes to a specific mechanic. I think because I think that's interesting to give it to like this mechanic from this game as opposed to a game getting the award.
Is there anything in Skin Deep that crosses that line? Because I'm with you. I think a lot of it's the culmination in how they interact with each other that feels novel, not necessarily one of them. I can't say water arrow
mechanic stuff in Skin Deep is really smart.
Yeah, the head stuff is very fun.
Like that you have to get rid of it. So the problem you're solving isn't just dispatching the enemies, it's figuring out how to permanently do that, if that's your goal.
I think that Seance of Blake Manor's like mystery solving thing. I don't know if it's like the most novel because I think that the Golden Idol sort of does a similar thing, but I wanted to at least make mention of it. I think that
timing
the way they
stuff of what you do, having every action have an actual like time component attached to it, I think is. I've never played a game that's a detective style game that's done that before.
Yeah, me neither. I struggle to think of any game I've played that has a tied time to that in particular. Yeah.
White Knuckle also, I think, is
the climbing.
The climbing is so unique and so visceral. Similar to the reason we shouted out Typecast, I think last year or the year before, was that it transforms your keyboard and mouse into like a controller that controls in a way that you do not use a keyboard and mouse typically. I think White Knuckle was like this alternating left right, like I felt like my forearm was getting fucking jacked playing White Knuckle.
So here's the thing, in the same regard I would swap the limbs and say baby steps.
The
walking in Baby Steps is
Baby Steps definitely deserves is a strong contender for this. The walking was like, because sometimes you get into that flow and you're like left right, and then sometimes you get into like a little crevice or something where if you fall you're fucked, and you're just like one step at a time. You've got the camera staring down the barrel like at your individual feet moving
at your toes.
Yeah,
you're like, I'm looking at where my big toe is sometimes, going like, is there enough balance? Like, what's going on there? Yeah.
Baby Steps might take it, man. I played more Baby Steps last night just because I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, the walking is really good.
The walking, and it's kind of the mechanic. Like, it's the opposite problem of something like Skin Deep, where
true.
Like, you're not doing anything else in Baby Steps, really. You know what I mean? Like, the odd time grabbing something, maybe. That's
a good point. That's a really good point. I feel like specifically for the best novel mechanic, it like that's what differentiates it is the focus, the refinement of that one mechanic in isolation in a vacuum.
Yeah. Is it Baby Steps then? It does seem.
I think Baby Steps kind of clears everything else we were talking about.
All right. Well, let's keep an eye on these ones because I feel like there's some other, places we can sort them out. To that end then, most original. Like, what is the most original of the games that we have played in 2025?
That's the real.
Blake Manor is actually like not a bad shade for this.
It's pretty original.
Yeah.
It's fairly original.
It's not opening. It's murder mysteries have been done before.
Yeah. It's a whodunit. There's a lot of games.
It is a whodunit. You're right.
It's good.
You're right. It's not.
It's very good. But there's a lot
more the mechanics, I think, are original. Yeah. You're right. When I think about the game more broadly, it's not that.
I think Consume Me is a decent
Yeah.
fit for this. It's very like its own thing. It doesn't really remind me of anything. It kind of like evokes young adult fiction, but in a way that is more like mature. Like it's not for young adults. It just kind of evokes that feeling of like you're young and like, oh, isn't like school stressful? But in a way that is more for adults looking back on that decades ago or something.
Yeah, it's got some WarioWare Flash vibes to it as well, but not in a way where it's like clearly doing WarioWare. It's like little pockets of it where you're like, oh, this I see where this is pulling from.
It's worth mentioning that I hate games that I perceive as a bunch of mini games strung together. It is something that I just despise as a genre.
You guys are haters.
And I loved this. So I think that, I don't know, kind of like Birdcage, I wasn't into shmups and then I was like, nah, I should play more shmups. This was like, maybe I don't hate mini games.
Talk to me.
Best novel mechanic, this might have actually been part of the conversation. The combat in Demon School.
Oh yeah, that's
very
a
good.
really good point.
Yeah, but also Demon School, I guess
like overly novel.
It's
though.
it's not that original, I guess, in terms of it is sort of like based off of sort of Saturn aesthetics and mechanics and stuff like that. But I did want to give a shout out to Demon School because I do think the combat in Demon School,
just the way it resolves is very very cool.
The fact that you can sort of like plan everyone and then hit the button and all that, like I think all that stuff was and change it, you know what I mean, you get to see how it plays out and then you can rewind, and I thought that was pretty cool. I'd add Sol Sesto to this because I think, you know, it has a roguelike structure but almost everything else about it is just this weird esoteric freak dream. Like the graphics obviously are part of that, but also just the like, what are you doing? You're like it's like a combat grid game with all these like, you know, they're like the weird marginalia from they're like terrifying demon marginalia from Pentiment, like going like licking their tongues around and shit. I thought that was pretty good for that. And then there was one other one, Skate Story was another one that comes to mind for original. You know, it's like skateboarding ass game, but it's in this crazy fractal kill the moon with
original
kick flips. Fucking I wish I played more of it because I was away when it came out on Steam, so I've not played past the demo. Did you guys ever give it a go? What was the reaction like when it came out?
Frank thought it was the worst game ever made and wanted them to go back and make a new one. No, sorry, Frank, I don't want just doing it.
No, I like started playing. I was like, oh, I like Skate better. Oh, I don't know. I bounced off it so fast, but like, because again, I'd like, you have to like relearn how to skate, and the mechanic of how you land and attack bosses is cool, but it was also, I think it's my gripe with like most games, that first hour is so linear, and I'm like, let me just skate around, and I know it does open up and get better, so I just have to like just make time and try to learn it. But my initial play, like stylistically, it looks incredible, but like, dude, I didn't like how linear.
As soon as Socrates came on the screen, Frank was like, "Fuck this!
Skip.
Who cares?"
They got Socrates in that game.
Yeah, Socrates.
How about speaking from Socrates to soccer? How about Despelote?
I do like it's very original. No one has ever made anything like that before. That's for sure.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough category because I got another suggestion on top of Despelote, which is Formless Star. Formless Star is like breathlessly original. It's so its own thing. It's like drawing upon old, like classic RPGs and classic anime in sort of it's like a tone and presentation and the way it feels to be in this world. But the thing you're doing in Formless Star is going around a world that is procedurally generated over and over and over, that has like distinct biomes, that has creatures that are like tied to biomes that have unique behaviors. You're tracking down these creatures, and then the progression is just like finding them and interacting with them, and they all just do like, they'll do like a little song and dance, or they'll do like a weird little animation, or like, and then the characters you're interacting with, there's only sort of like 4 core characters, 4 or 5, and each one of them is so memorable. Like I will never forget any of them. I just think it's like Splendid Lands games are so their own, and I think that what they're doing, they're kind of in a lane of their own.
It seems like its tone and what it's doing is more of an inversion of an existing thing than its own thing, if that makes sense.
Like an inversion of JRPG kind of stuff.
JRPGs, yeah.
I could see
something totally original. which isn't a knock against the game or anything, but just in the category. I wonder if we have something else that's. How do you guys feel when you look at these? What's the one that like gut sense, or does Frank have any?
I like Despelote because like it feels so much like I have to play Consumi because it sounds pretty similar, but like yeah, they like that like time travel documentary as a game, and like I don't know, I thought it was. I'm so happy to play more games like that. Like that's so cool. Like I thought that was really really cool and special.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, all right. I'll let's go with it. I think the setting, the format of the game, how it progresses, and then it is a first person game, which isn't the most novel thing, but as a first person game, it does not feel at all like any other. Like just even the like field of vision or something, like it just feels very different. You feel like a child. Like that's what's cool about it, I think, is that like you feel little, you know, like like running around and fucking adults the way they react to you. And yeah,
dude, when you leave the classroom for the first time and you're walking down the stairs to go out and play soccer with your friends, like I think I said it in the last pod, but like when you enter a classroom again and you remember how, like you see how small it really was from how you remember it. That whole game is the world. Look how small, look how big the world is and how small you are.
Exactly.
Yeah, the scale, the height, and the field of view are sort of like masterfully capturing that feel. Yeah, I think Despelote is a natural fit for this. It's incredibly original.
We've only got 2 more to give away today. Best micro game, which I just added from the other list because there was a little bit too much on it, and the Give It a Go award, which is probably going to be tricky because that might be one that people have played and want to recommend, or people think no one will play it, but is worth a recommend. So we'll get to that. Best micro game. So this is the games we're talking about that are complete them in an hour. You know what I mean? Like that's in and out, explore the world, have an experience, leave. Ones we've talked about before that could be in here, I guess. Cape Hideous is obviously one of them. Without, are you laughing because you think this is me just trying to give Cape Hideous something?
No, certainly not.
Without a Dawn is another one, which I think was very. I absolutely did. I adore it. I don't know. I found it very impactful. Is probably a better way of saying it. Anything else that comes in here, like stuff you've played on itch?
Pull up my itch.
It doesn't have to be an hour, you know what I mean? But like a game that feels like a sort of one and done experience kind of thing, more than.
I feel like Ooh and Formula Star are both about 2 hours, but both are kind of the ones from this list that fit. I don't know if I don't know how micro we're talking.
Yeah, we're talking micro.
Okay.
So I don't. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. It's weird. Ooh feels like. Yeah, I guess Ooh probably could work for it. Yeah. But then what about what's that other game we're talking about? Oh, and Roger as well is another.
Yeah.
How long is and Roger?
How long is
it's like
that?
2.5. Is it?
An hour and a half,
1.5, an hour and a half, something like that.
Let me pull up the
And
Steam
Roger.
data. Took me
In the spirit of the awards.
60 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I think, yeah, let me see my one. In the spirit of the awards, we've already given Ooh some stuff, have we?
Yeah, for sure. I just wanted to throw it. I was just trying to range find what micro was.
That's fair. Yeah. It's weird how, Ooh is, I don't know, it is a micro game. There's no getting away from the idea that it is a very small game, but it just feels bigger. Yeah, I don't know what
if you do all the secret stuff, it is probably more like 4 or 5 hours too, but it is optional.
Right.
Still.
And Roger, I did it in 52 minutes. Without a Dawn, I did it in 29 minutes. And Cape Hideous, that was small, right? That felt.
Oh yeah, under an hour for sure.
Yeah, 29 minutes as well. Out of these 3, then, what do people think of these? They're all great little games. Was I the only one who played Without a Dawn?
No, Jeremy, you played it, right? I played it.
I played it. I really disliked it, but
you did? Okay.
I don't want to debate about it because I'm not trying to like convince anyone or anything. It's was not for me at all. I did complete it though.
I can 100% see that this is a Marmite game. Especially with the ending. I think mileage is going to really fucking vary on that one.
For sure. And like, I say this all the time, but good art is like, it should alienate some people.
Yes,
so
right.
I'm okay with like, if I experience a piece of art that's so not for me and other people like it, then I can at least respect that.
Yeah. Cape Hideous, how do you feel about that? I mean, it's been a long while since I played it.
I think it's fucking brilliant.
The art style is obviously really evocative, but also just the, you know, when like you play a Kojima game and you're just trying to like, especially with Death Stranding, you're just Jesse shrugging. You're just he's like, nope. You're just kind of like fascinated, or like I found this with the Denis Villeneuve Dune movie or something, where you're just so interested in the world. Like, what is this world? What the fuck is going on? Like, what are the social norms? What, you know, Cape Hideous gives you so much of that with so little. Like, there's no like lore dump. it's just a bunch of like you doing these quests and talking to these people and just trying to figure out the social dynamics and what they're doing on this boat. It's really special.
It's there. I've used this phrase before, specifically talking about Cape Hideous, but it's been long enough that I feel like it's worth reiterating. That there was I think it might be. Is it The War of Art? There's some book about writing that I've read before that describes reading the work of a truly confident writer as swimming in holy water. That there's this feeling of like all-encompassingness that when you're experiencing a piece of fiction written by someone who truly understands the internal logic and rules and the hierarchy of their own world, that it's like you don't doubt the vision of it. You're just inside of it and you're like, holy shit. It feels like you're in a real place with real people.
It's like Mulholland Drive, the way Robert talks about it in the Disco doc, where you're like, you might not even understand the logic of what's going on, but the fact that the author does makes you believe, you know, makes
for sure.
you settle into that world.
Yeah, David Lynch is a great example of this, of like a almost like a mystical level of confidence in their work. It feels like it's like when you have a dream, in that when you're in the dream, you're not like, this doesn't make sense. You're just like, yeah, of course I'm on a plane with David Duchovny. I feel like Cape Hideous to me feels like it achieves a like Lynchian level of self-realization as a work that is accomplished with so little in such a short duration. It's a really special game. It also feels like outsider art to some extent, which I feel like is kind of unfair because Jake Clover has done other games and is like established as a developer, but there's something about it that is so weird and different and like MS Painty, but like beautiful in a beautiful way. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I almost suggested this for most original, but it is tough because it's a 2024 game.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting it's a 2024 game.
Damn.
Best micro game from 2024. We've given Cape Hideous, I guess, a lot of love here. So that's
it'd be silly to not give it something at this point.
If not. Oh, is that what you're thinking? I was thinking, at least we've talked it up a bunch, so that's pretty good.
Oh, but, yeah. I mean, if you want to stick to the rules, yeah. I mean, we can go Ann Rodgers.
Well, I feel like I don't want to break the rule for me. You know what I mean? I feel like there were other games. That's true, but like Frank had a bunch of 2024 stuff on here that we didn't end up.
He had some 2003 stuff we didn't even put up. What? No, not that one.
The Cape Hideous Award. We just love Cape Hideous. Go play Cape Hideous. If you're listening to this, go fucking play Cape Hideous. All right, Cape Hideous is fucking great. I'll give it a shout out on our socials in a separate way and say we were trying to give this game an award, but it came out in 2024. So we'll give them some love there.
I think we should just do best 2024 game that we played in 2025 or something.
Would that be Cape Hideous? That's the problem. Now we're opening a can of worms. I got to go back and be like, oh shit, I didn't play fucking. What was the best game that came out last year?
Infinite Wealth.
What did you say?
Infinite Wealth.
Infinite Wealth. Oh
when did Final Fantasy 16 come out? Was that 2023? No, I would think also I'm down with Ann Roger if you want to go for the micro game. Time Flies was also pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah, that was great.
And that is definitely micro.
It is in more ways than one. Yeah. If I had to choose between the two of those, I would say Ann Roger.
Roger,
yeah. So I mean, Ann Roger, it'd be great to give Ann Roger something because it is.
Did it not end up in the top 10?
Did it?
I don't think
no.
Check it.
We might have to relitigate at the end. We'll see. Arc Raiders could lose that. You can get that.
That's very. I love the idea of getting rid of Arc Raiders for Ann Roger. The only problem is if you get rid of Arc Raiders, we have to get rid of another one.
Oh, you're right. It's the Shield's on 11th. Shit.
I managed to create a world in which it's impossible to get Arc Raiders out of the top 10.
You're so smart. Are you paid by the Embark Corporation?
I think that's how I did that by accident, but I think that's how politicians work. Like that they're able to see that shit. They're able to see the The social strategy.
We're going to pass a law that makes it illegal.
Yeah, it's like a
for
rider on
operators
the
to not be
bill.
there.
It's like, well, I mean, are you against healthcare, or are you going to pass this thing that also legalizes tobacco for children?
Yep.
Exactly.
Because they're one and the same. So
It'll be fine. They'll get great health care when they get, throat cancer. And
yeah, when they all have
early 20s.
emphysema at 15.
Exactly. We've all these tuberculosis hospitals just lying around. We'll just fill them. Okay, that's our second last one. Our last one is the Give It a Go award, which does not necessarily say 2025 on it. I'll just say that.
All right.
Oh,
Let's give it a go. So this is one for where we think, hey, you should just give this thing a go. You might like it, you might not like it. That's fine. This isn't the problem with so much of Game of the Year is that we are trying to validate for the most people sometimes, with the awards. We're trying to say, for most people, this is the one that will be the median enjoyment of this media. Will build, it's like the Oscars. It's a bit of an issue sometimes. It's part of the calculus if it's not the main one. This is to toss that entirely to the side. This is like, just trust me, just give it a go. And if you don't like it, don't blame us. But you should give it a shot. It's like a free throw. It's like a free throw. It's like a free shot. It's like practicing in the bullpen before you go out. This is just like, there's no guilt associated with people not liking it. But you know what? If you do like it, you'll probably really, really like it. What do we think, boys? I will say Cape Hideous, we can apply to this.
yeah,
if
I'm
you
not
want.
going to argue with that.
But I don't know if it's the one. Frank, I feel like you'll probably have a couple in this.
Well, so my 2024 game that I beat this year that I was surprised by was I thought Stellar Blade was actually really good, and I'm excited
cool.
for the sequel. But that was the game I didn't play in 2024, but I played in 2025. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. So if it's slower paced than Devil May Cry, but it feels a lot like Nier Automata. You're exploring a post-apocalyptic world. Excuse me.
It's getting choked up talking about this.
Yeah. You're a pretty. It's very much like Nier Automata. You're a pretty robot girl exploring an open world. There's linear boss dungeons. The combat's really fun. Lots of upgrades. Lots of things to collect. And it was that was a game where I got into a flow state for 2 weeks of just doing all the open side content and really enjoying it. And that was a game that also got buffed this year by extended DLCs. And so by the time I played it, was I realized too, I was looking back at Death Stranding. I didn't beat Death Stranding 1. I beat Death Stranding 1 Director's Cut. So all these games come out, and then a year later, they're all patched even better. So Stellar Blade now with all this extra content is a really good game. It's probably very cheap these days. So if you have not played Stellar Blade in the last 2 years, give it a go. It's pretty good.
Nice. It's a good shout, yeah. Another one that someone else mentioned, which feels like it might work for you here, is Keep Driving. You seemed pretty hot on that. And it is it's a game that I think, based on the Steam pictures, could turn people on or off. It doesn't look like, oh, that looks like a game I've played before, which makes it easier. It does look very different, I think.
It has a very unique style to it. And I think it's one of those games where it works for you or it doesn't. And if it works for you, it's really, really going to work for you. It's so unique and weird and willing to let you make mistakes and be wrong and fail and have that failure be part of your story that you tell throughout playing it. Yeah, God, the music too. It's so nice to play a game again that has licensed music in it and isn't afraid to make that its centerpiece, because I miss that so much. That used to be such a fixture of gaming for that little while there. And then everyone wanted to sell their games in perpetuity, and you can't do that with a music license now, can you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's really cool. I would definitely put Keep Driving up there. I think that's one of those games you love it, you hate it right away for sure.
Stick Keep Driving in there as well. I would say, so there was an award that I had queued up for tomorrow that was going to be like a scooper, and it was a game we just wanted to give an award.
All right.
So we could just do that for Cape Hideous.
There you go.
And take it out of the conversation. I'll bring it over from tomorrow. Game we just wanted to give an award. And it goes to Cape Hideous. Does that seem all right to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the Give It a Go award. Yeah. Is there anything, I guess Stellar Blade is a 2024 game, which is if we care about that, is a knock against it.
No, you said it doesn't matter.
That's true. I said it didn't. Yeah, because we played it this year, right? You played it this year, didn't you, Frank? Yeah. Frank. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is there any other games that pop in here that are like, that feel... Like there's games like Kingdoms of the Dump, which like I didn't think I'd be interested in until I did the indie rec with Jeremy, and I was like, oh no, I might actually play this. This looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that is also a really good one, and I think it's something that we talked about with Expedition 33 is like RPGs that appeal to people who aren't hardcore RPG people.
Yeah,
I think Kingdoms of the Dump is complex enough to please RPG veterans and simple enough to like welcome people into the genre, which I think is like. That's a difficult thing to strike with such an established and sort of like mechanically driven genre.
What's everyone's gut saying? Mine is probably Keep Driving, just because I think Stellar Blade is widely regarded as I think most people who play that game, who like those games, really think it's quality. Whereas Keep Driving, in the spirit of this award, is kind of I don't know. I could probably talk to someone and ask them about their games and pitch them on Stellar Blade. But Keep Driving, I have no fucking idea who would like this game or not. Which way they'd fall on it.
It's also more of an unknown quantity. I feel like that's part of this category is You're recommending a game to someone that is not like, I think Stellar Blade is recognizable as like a type of game that even if you're not playing a bunch of weird, diverse games, you'd be like, I kind of understand what that is and can recognize what's quality about it. I think Keep Driving is a game that you just got to like play to understand.
I still don't know if I like it. You know what I mean? Like I've played Keep Driving a few times. I feel like I might if that's what Jesse said. He said you just keep playing it and then you get into it even more.
You got to keep driving and keep driving.
Keep driving.
Yeah.
Keep driving.
Yeah.
Keep driving. Okay. All right. That's all our awards for today. Let's go through them from start to end. Most Jeremy game was Ooh. What he should play next is ENA Dream Barbecue, is it? ENA?
Yeah.
That's what we're saying. Most Frank game, DDR, of course. And what he should play next, Consume Me. So look out for that video. The Seance of Blake Manor was voted my game of 2025, most Danny game. And what I should play is Angeline Era, which I'm excited to jump into. And most Jesse game went to Blueprints. What he should play more is Formless Star. Most ambitious game, Consume Me. Best value, Look Outside, with some notable mentions for Skate and Karamara. Best Friendslop game, Peak. Best couch game, Lego Party. Best franchise game, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Most addictive, Sectori. Best novel mechanic, Baby Steps. We'll say the steps in Baby Steps. Most original, Despelate. Best micro game, And Roger. The Give It a Go award is for Keep Driving, and game we just wanted to give an award to goes to Cape Hideous.
I love that.
Excellent. Okay, so anyone have any massive problems with those, or can we move on to tomorrow and even more categories? Is there any categories people want, maybe? Any ones that they're thinking, I think best Game Pass game would be a good one. I feel like that is a constant narrative on the podcast,
Sure.
Yeah. Maybe like I think best art direction is kind of like the classic award people do.
Right.
I think it'd be interesting to do that, but maybe also most
art
unique,
direction.
most art direction, most art, like most original art or like most original style or aesthetic might be interesting because like I would kind of want to talk about Machina a little bit, which I don't know where else it'll come up.
Yeah, Cape Hideous might have been in that chat too.
If it was 2025.
Good point. I keep forgetting. I'm like
keep
fucking. I got a
reminding you.
blind spot for this in my head.
You just want it to win so bad.
I know. Just want to give it some love. Yes, we have best title coming up tomorrow as well. Jeremy came up with some great ones like that. Like he also came up with game that will age the best and game that'll age the worst, which I think are fascinating lenses through which we can look at these games. Most difficult is also on here, which I quite like. So yeah, most surprising, most likely to get a sequel. We have a bunch of really interesting ones that are a bit more the yearbook kind of awards, which will be fun to get through. All right, we'll leave it there. Or maybe best Steam Deck game as well. I think Frank mentioned that at one stage. So I that's a great one. We'll stick that in as well. Just a reminder, if you skipped yesterday's podcast, we did our top 10 over there, so you can go check those out if you want a quick reminder of the top 10. If you don't, tune out now. If you do, keep listening. Our top 10 were The Seance of Blake Manor, Death Stranding 2, Arc Raiders, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, White Knuckle, Despelate, Consume Me, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Angeline Era, and Donkey Kong Bonanza. Yes, there are 11 games there. That's because Arc Raiders takes on a social debt for being part of the shill zone, and that allows us to add one more game. Of course, you already knew that. That's standard game of the year practices at any outlet. Okay, and that's the pod. Thanks, dudes. That was that was fun. That was like really, it wasn't 5 hours long, which helped. But also it was it's cool to honor these games, and I feel like we talked about a lot of games, even not the winners that were worthy of a shout out and part of our sort of story of last year in gaming for us all.
Yeah, it's nice to talk about those. I'm excited for tomorrow where we get to decide which has the best title, which, I mean, I already have a great pick for that and I haven't even played it. No spoilers.
Does it have to be said in a Cockney English accent?
Is it bollocks pit?
Bollocks pit. Bollocks pit. Bollocks pit. Bollocks. All right, on that note, let's leave it. Go check out our Game of the Year videos over on Noclip 2. Go check out the Disco Elysium documentary over on Noclip 1. We have plenty Noclip 1. We have plenty of early access stuff happening there. We're going to do some fun videos of all of these What We Should Play stuff, which I'm very excited to do and watch. So yeah, keep supporting our work, and we'll see you tomorrow for the final podcast in our 2025 Game of the Year of Extravaganza. See you then.